remain open and continue to serve the community. It will also continue to provide care at St. Luke's Hospital in Chesterfield and its more than 30 outpatient centers, including its De Pere Urgent Care site. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Brickline Greenway bike lanes through St. Louis City are being expanded.
The expansion will connect Tower Grove Park to the rest of the Greenway through Tower Grove Avenue, South Vandeventer, and South Sarah Street. I spoke with Sarah Arnosky-Coe, the vice president of Greater St. Louis, Inc., who shares this stretch of roadway is popular among some bikers, but they hope to expand it to more.
We know people use this as cyclists use this as a thoroughfare, but really only the most confident do, and really making sure this is a space for all abilities.
The project's total cost is around $18 million and should be completed by the end of 2026, if not early 2027. The funding is secure for Phase 1. However, they are still seeking private dollars to fund the rest of Phase 2. In Shaw, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
It's a hot day for construction workers.
Like a desert. It's taking everything from you.
Feels crazy, man. Feels like I'm dying out here.
More than 100 daily temperature records could be broken nationwide the first half of this week. The Dow from Stifel's up 281 points to 42,488. We've got a stalled vehicle, 141 going south at 6440. It's got the right lane closed to shoulder 2. Emergency vehicles also 141 south past 64 in the right lane. A stalled vehicle, 70 east at Lake St. Louis Boulevard. That's got the right shoulder closed. Also 270 going southbound before Ladue. That's also got the right shoulder closed there.
It's nothing but the early beast of summer. It's going to continue on this Monday afternoon, all about sunshine. It's hot, it's humid. The high should peak at about 98 degrees. The heat index peaking about 105. Slow down, take it easy. Mostly clear skies tonight. It's warm, it's humid, 78. On Tuesday, sunny, hot, and humid, but I'm going to keep the idea of a pop thunderstorm in the afternoon. 95 degrees for the high on Tuesday. Wednesday, sunny, hot, and humid. And again, 95. We are now in the longest days of summer. Slow down again. Take it easy. Lots of water. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We've got a sunny sky. It's 92 in St. Peter's, 93 in Florissant, and 93 downtown at the Arch, but the feels like is 95. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Visit Missouri.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy our world-class dining and distilleries, shops and spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. I don't know how to feel about this song.
I knew you were going to say something about it.
It's put me in a mood.
Well, it's kind of a weird show opener. I will give you that.
Yeah.
This is more of like a 2:45 song.
Yeah.
So that's on me.
It's okay.
For not preparing better.
It's okay.
You ever play that one live on your shows?
No. Never did. No. No, I'm closer to you when it comes to music.
I know.
Like, I don't know if I've told you the classic story. My band and I, Boys Night Out, BOYZNITEOYT.
Nice.
I think. Or OWT. And we never played a gig, thank God. And we were meeting at the Hen House in Pontoon Beach, going over a set list. And I was in my Def Leppard stage. So I was wearing jeans that I had ripped up myself.
Yeah.
And I had a skullet going. I looked like the Crypt Keeper. I had really long hair, pre-wig. And they wanted to play Black Cat by Janet Jackson, and I got up and walked out.
Oh, yeah, good move by you.
Yeah.
That's the wrong direction.
Yeah. It was the right direction for that band because that's what people were into, but it was the wrong direction for me in my self-ripped pants.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. When you take a stand when you're young, and you're so like just full of
Yep, stomping out.
just stomping out.
Yeah. I feel like I'm still like that.
Yeah. How's everyone's weekend?
Hot.
Yeah. So you didn't have to coach yesterday.
No, unfortunately, we got eliminated on Saturday. But it was hot. It was hot.
Anyone falling out?
No, but guys, yeah, it was a factor.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was guys having a hard time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I hornswoggled and purchased tickets to every game during the Cubs series. So, and now it's like the all-time heat wave.
At least 3 of them are at night.
Yes.
Like, by it's still hot at like 6:30, 6:45,
Yeah.
but it's starting to go the right direction.
Yes.
And by 7:30, you're good.
Yeah.
It's hot, but at night, hot is not that bad.
Yeah, there's something about...
It's just when the sun's beating down on you.
Yes, yes. I may not use my Big Mac Land tickets for Thursday. I may give them to my friend Rachel, who's always wanted to go. And then my friend Rachel's going to have to make a decision if she wants to be out there in 96-degree heat. So,
What are you thinking, Rach?
Um,
SPF 500?
yeah, I would have to think about that.
I got some of that in my
do a
car.
couple of
I
innings.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Maybe Steve can get you tickets to the Champions Club.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go to Big Mac Land, but yeah, I don't want to sit out there and bake either.
You will.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm used to baking in the summer.
Yeah, you are.
But it's also, I think, worse when you're just sitting there.
Oh, yes.
Like with coaching, I'm out for hours and hours and hours, but you're moving around.
Yeah.
There's a little shade in the dugout here. There's a little,
Yeah.
like sometimes you're just flat out in the sun for a
Yes.
lot of it, but you're always doing stuff, and it's not the same as just sitting.
Apropos of that, you had something on your show sheet. So I wore my typical T-shirt, jeans, and Timberland boots to my last game in Big Mac Land, which was only about 87, but I was just absolutely roasting.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were saying, why do we wear pants when it's hot?
Yeah, and I meant like instead of shorts. I didn't
Yeah.
mean just like no pants.
No, I got that.
But like why it's 2025. Right? It's not 1940
And we've
anymore.
already made so many changes.
Right. I mean, like we've gone from, everybody's in a suit and tie all the time, and men are wearing their fancy little hats, and, ladies are all in dresses. Like we've calmed down from all of that. It's now acceptable to wear like today. I wore the really light, they're like joggers, but they kind of look like
Yeah.
golf pants, like
Yeah,
dress
yeah.
pants. Those are all acceptable.
We should normalize those.
But so if someone sees my calf and knees, though, that's unprofessional.
Rach, what do you think?
Are we talking about like letting the baseball players wear the
No,
shorts?
I'm talking about us.
Here at work, I
Like,
think.
and not just us here, and like normies, like going to work, it's this hot. Why can't people wear shorts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question.
What is it about knees and calves that makes it so informal?
Well, women get to wear dresses, so I don't know why you guys wouldn't get to throw on a pair of shorts.
Or a dress.
Or a
Or
skirt.
a nice,
A nice
skirt.
sundress.
A kilt, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll
kilt.
try it.
Right. You could wear, well, you probably could do that.
If
You could
people
probably get
weren't
away
so
with that.
judgy, I'd wear sundresses every day this summer. They look awesome. They look awesome.
He's like, I'm just comfortable.
So
I'm
comfortable.
just comfortable. Like 100% if I'm the last guy on earth, it's sundress.
I don't know that I could get with the whole, not being surrounded.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in pants, you're surrounded.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I've never
I
understood.
bet if you wore some nice boxer briefs, you'd feel much better. Then at least everyone's covered up.
No, it's not just. It's just more the feel, more the vibe. Like I don't know. I'm not used to.
You don't want the wind blowing up your dress.
I'm just not used. Yeah, I'm not used to the idea.
I just
of
like you've gone this far in my journey with me.
Yeah.
You're concerned about
Well,
the
I
breeze.
know. I'm like, well, that seems very weird to me. I don't know if I'd like that whole.
Just picture that photo of Marilyn Monroe, but it's Kevin.
Ooh.
I had a big thing happen today. Partially thanks to my friend Kevin Wheeler, who vouched for me to some degree. I've been picked up by the Bud Light men's
Oh boy,
baseball team,
those are my guys.
which is a sponsored team.
Yes.
Second best in the league, Mike tells me.
Right now they are a lot. They're always good.
Yeah. So U-Man and Ramsey and Dan, my buddy Dan Buck, Ed Wheatley, the author. So there's quite a few people on the team who I know.
That's fun. I didn't
Yeah.
know U-Man was on the team.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a good
I'm
crew, man. And
Really looking forward
Stu
to
runs it, and he's the best.
it. Looking forward to
Yeah.
it.
And Stu's a listener. He likes
Oh.
the show.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Stu.
Hey, Stu. I'm your new catcher.
Yeah.
No, don't tell Stu that.
He bought the catching gear and
No, you
everything.
don't understand. I haven't got to come out to a game in a while. So maybe when you're playing, maybe I'll come out and be the cheering section. Or actually, I'll be the heckler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna heckle all you guys.
Heckler in chief.
But Stu, if I don't know, I haven't checked with him in a while, but he's a pretty good catcher.
Good.
Yeah.
Kevin is totally being your absentee father about this baseball. He keeps saying to you today, he's like, maybe I'll come out and watch you. Maybe I'll come out. You know what? I'll probably be there.
Disappoint me.
I'll probably be there, man. You just look out in the stands, you'll see me.
Let's be honest. If it's like today, I ain't coming.
Yeah.
And then after the game, when he doesn't show up, he's like, phone works 2 ways. You could have called me.
I'm sitting there nursing.
You should have reminded me, man.
Nursing my beer, and you man's like, "What's wrong, buddy?" I'm like,
He's like, Wheeler
"Dad
didn't show up."
Nothing. I just really thought he'd be here this time.
You missed me getting my first hit.
You're hugging you, man, like Will Smith and Fresh Prince. Like, how come you don't want me, man?
Dave gets a hit. I'll be in the stands. That's my boy.
Yeah, is it like, can people come and spectate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure. Get a DGS contingent.
I don't know
out
if
there.
it's still true, but back in the day when I was suiting up for them, a lot of the home games were at SLU.
Yeah, if you were at SLU, if you were on the east side.
Yeah.
Is there a concession stand?
Not for these kind of games.
Oh, bummer.
Typically
No
not.
fun dip.
Now, unless you're at a place like it's a big facility where there are men's games and softball games and kids games, like there may be in those cases, but not at SLU. There wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Probably not on the east side. That would mean probably playing at GCS, which would mean maybe, but probably not.
Said the fields are all very nice.
Oh man, yeah,
So that's nice.
Yeah, there are no bad ones
I like
that I played
I
on.
like a true hop when I'm playing the infield.
Yeah, well, you'll get that at SLU. It's turf.
And I just don't want any pop-ups.
No, Dave's like, don't hit it in the air.
I'll immediately pull a hamstring.
See, the first thing you got to do, like when you realize, like, oh no, you just make the signal, like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Hands out.
It'll be an honest signal.
Yeah, somebody will come bail you out.
I was just telling Maria Kina that even at baseball games, if I'm sitting somewhere that's foul ball territory, I don't ever watch the ball. I just watch the people around me.
To see how they're
because
reacting.
I can't see the ball.
I like Andrew's strategy at a game. Don't see it until somebody says, look up, and he's like, oh, oh.
Yeah,
Keep
then
your
it's
eye.
like a wasp is approaching.
Keep your eye off the ball, and
Yes.
you'll never be bored.
You'll always get that little surprise.
Always a surprise.
He's always like diving forward, like,
And so many times a foul ball, it's on the hop. Like someone's gonna miss it.
You got to watch the ricochets.
Yeah.
It can be quick.
Yeah.
It can be quick.
You gonna come to a game?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
I would love to come, especially if there's a concession stand. So,
Well, you can bring a cooler.
yeah, I'll bring my own cooler.
I'm gonna look good in the uniform.
Yeah.
It's white
It's
pants,
Dodger blue.
Dodger blue.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. I think I still have my uni back back at the house.
I bought my socks and my belt.
Oh boy.
I bought my my hitting guard for my arm.
You got a guard?
I got everything.
Like an Evo shield?
I got everything.
Man.
And I just will use it or not use it.
See, if Wheels is the dad, I'll be like the mom, and I'll bring like Capri Sun and like
Orange
snacks.
slices.
Yeah, snacks for everybody after the game.
I'll be the guy behind the screen, videotaping every at bat, like getting it on video.
My mom made fudge,
I'm
boys.
gonna upload this to your scouting profile.
Hey, Rammer, Rachel made cupcakes.
You're gonna be the most popular teammate if you're bringing snacks.
Yeah.
Although they have different kinds of snacks for men's league baseball.
I'll bring Capital Grill.
Usually in the form of beer. That's after the game, though.
Capital Grill Wagyu burgers.
Yeah. Oh man,
They'll love me.
They're like, Dave, would you like to play shortstop, sir? Here you go.
I want to pitch underhand.
They're like, hey, listen,
Okay.
you bring those burgers, you're good.
Yeah. Mike was saying one of our most consistent pitchers is 75, and like he's good.
Yep.
He's better than the 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's great.
Not unusual. Somebody knows what they're doing, especially at that spot. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. You can cut it and
You
run
know,
it
my
and
benefit
put
of
it
being
in.
a pitcher, I have no idea what I'm doing.
You have no idea where it's going?
And like we play
You seem to
catch,
throw it close to where you want to.
and the ball moves a little bit.
A little bit. You got
I-
a little arm side run.
I remember when I was playing 30 and over, I was probably 33, and playing Dan Buck, my now teammate's
Oh,
team.
your new teammate again, yeah.
And I was mowing him down. And I heard Dan, you can hear Dan pretty far away. And he's on deck. And he goes, "Are you friggin' kidding me? He's not even throwing junk. He's just throwing sidearm. You can hit him." And then he hit one It hit the wall about 3 feet high.
Like
it was,
hard, huh?
It was
just laser.
Yes.
That was such a straight line drive, you could have hung clothes from it.
It's funny because, I retired like 6 guys in a row, and he's like, you can hit this guy. He's not even throwing junk. I'm like, oh, well, hello, Dan Buck. Try this, crack. And just like, oh.
You should have hit him.
That hit the wall pretty
Should've
fast.
started a
I should have
brawl.
knocked him down.
Yeah.
That would have hurt him.
Although you got to know you can win that fight.
Yeah, I think I could outrun him, but I don't think I could outfight him.
So the Ricky Horton strategy.
The Ricky Horton strategy.
The way he described it last week was great.
Yeah. But then knowing Dan, I'd have to run from him a lot. He wouldn't stop. It'd be like the... Yeah, that's a big thing. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's
You'll
very
have fun.
exciting.
It's a great group of dudes.
Adding a new thing to my life.
Yeah.
I just wanted, you get this. Every red-blooded American kid out there gets this. Like dressing up for Corey League when your uniform was all fresh and the stirrup socks. That was half of it. Just getting ready. Just the fun of that. Like, I just love the pageantry of baseball.
Yeah.
The pageantry of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys play?
All over the place. But like Wheels was saying, we play a few games at St. Louis University.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. There's a couple.
Those are good-looking ballparks.
Nice parks over on the east side. So
Mm-hmm.
you can come
Parks.
see me when I'm in Sojay.
They're like,
Yeah, I hope
I
you
know
play
you're
it.
there a lot.
I hope you play at Gordon Moore.
No, it would probably be more at GCS, would be my guess.
I don't know what that is.
It's the minor league stadium.
So the
okay.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's
Oh, where the Grizzlies are. Yeah,
Grizzlies Park. I don't know if they
That's a
still
nice
call
park
it,
too.
I don't know if they still call it that, but yeah, that's all Astro. That's all turf.
Is that good or bad?
It's just fast and hot when it's hot during the day. But if you're playing at night, it's fine.
Fast and hot.
Yep.
I like turf.
Yeah,
Again,
you're gonna like.
I like
say
the
you're gonna like
bounces.
the hops because you ain't gonna get any big ones that come up and hit you in the face.
Yeah.
But it's gonna get on you quick though. You think the Cardinals infield was fast?
And I bought a cup.
Oh boy. Well, you need one of those if you're gonna be playing in the field.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't need any nut shots.
I got a cup that goes inside my
Sliding pants. Yeah.
sliding pants.
Yeah. That's. You gotta be careful with that though.
How come?
Like that. Let's just say movement can be an issue.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I wasn't a big fan of the looseness of that setup. But maybe yours are the better ones than I had because the ones I had was like, nope, gotta go old school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, that was quite a struggle. I saw that one happening.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm on the air. I won't ask this question, actually.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, fine.
The best reaction ever.
I could feel it. I could feel it like
I have a no. I don't.
like a storm coming. I could feel the question, and she's like, "Well, how? Maybe
You know what?
one
It's
time.
not worth it. It's not even close to being worth it.
I got you.
Text it to me and I'll ask it because I'm not afraid to be like. So, what color is the baseball?
Tell you guys about Dr. Kathy Maupin, BioBalance Health. Perfect time to talk about it. I mean, I'm 60 and playing baseball and, some genetics involved there and kind of taking care of myself. But so much of it, too, is the testosterone. That's going to help me out. It helps out when you work out if you're a gym person and you track your gains and you want to be stronger and you want to be more cut or you just whatever it is you want to be for your sport or just for your life, it's going to be much better with the testosterone replacement. You're going to be able to go in the gym, have great workouts, recover more quickly, build muscle, which building muscle at the age of 60 is pretty cool. You really do. I think your body has a way of telling you that you're winding down. And when medical technology is able to say to your body, no, we're not winding down yet, pretty good feeling. For all things Dr. Maupin, whether it's BioBalance Health or BioBalance Skin, you can find it at biobalancehealth.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center. And if you are like me, you do have anxiety about getting that colonoscopy, because after the age of 45, that's when they tell us it is a good time to do it, and we should start at this time. But there is no better place to do it than at Siteman Cancer Center. And they have a great resource. If you don't live all that close to St. Louis and you want to find a place closer to you, GetScreenedNow.com will help you locate a place closer to you, so you don't have to come all the way to the city to do it. And it's a great resource for colon cancer. If you're getting screened for prostate or for lung or breast cancer, they will find a place for you at GetScreenedNow.com. We know that 4 out of every 10 adults at some point will develop a cancer. Early detection is so important. Find the resources you need, a location you need to get screened by going to GetScreenedNow.com.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-million. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Shows Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
11:20 a.m., 104.1 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
$125 on the dot, DGS on KMOX. I'm just dealing with the heat. I'm just like looking at it outside and just, it's got those little waves, you know, like when it's really, really hot. I don't know.
It's not pleasant.
I don't know.
Yeah, I woke up at like 5:30 yesterday, and I looked at the weather and it was like 77 degrees. Oh, okay. Well, we're in for a fun day then.
Yeah. I think tonight in the city it's supposed to not get below 80.
Yeah. Well, again, when the sun's not out, it's not that bad.
No, and there's a little breeze today, so I think like tonight the game's going to be delightful. Maybe delightful's pushing it a bit, but you know, doable.
Yeah.
Did I see that some people or some players at MLB games were like throwing up over the weekend?
Oh yeah, happened at our game.
Yeah.
Ellie got sick, right?
Ellie did, which is crazy. I mean, Ellie grew up in this.
Yeah.
But it just shows you, though, like if you didn't eat right or you didn't, drink the way you should on a given day, and even if you do, sometimes it still gets you.
Give me a little recap of the weekend series with the Reds.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, yesterday got away, but you take 2 out of 3 from the team that's right there with you in the division. That was red hot coming in. Sorry, that's a bad pun. But good to win, 5 out of 6 going into the Cubs series starting today. But the weekend was, I would say mostly good. There were a few points where it got a little dicey. Again, yesterday wasn't great, but when you're taking 2 out of 3 from a good team, and the Reds are a good team, they're above 500. They were right on your butt coming into that series. They had won 7 of 10, and I think something like 11 of 14 coming into that. So, no, overall really good. They got good pitching in the opener on Friday. Decent enough on Saturday. Obviously, Arenado with the big home run on Saturday was a really nice capper. I think that was about as good as you would want. You would love to get a sweep, but you're probably not going to. And what happened yesterday was simply their pitcher was good. Andrew Abbott's really good.
Yeah.
And he's a tough, he's got a 2.4 ERA on the season, something along those lines. Like that wasn't anything embarrassing or bad or wrong. That was just a good pitcher beat you.
Yeah. Saturday was when Pozo got the walk-off.
Yeah. How about that? He's come up that way a few times, because one thing about Pozo that's really makes him an interesting guy as a backup catcher and who may come in late, he doesn't strike out very much. Like, he's going to put a ball in play. He's a wild swinger, but he can do something with it. And, you put him up in those spots, especially, maybe getting the occasional start against lefties, or you put him up in a spot where all you need to do is get a ball in play.
Yeah.
He's going to help you out. Like, they've got such a good group of catchers between the guys at the major league level, and we can count Herrera even though he's hurt. Like, you have 3 guys in the major league level that can all help you, and they got another good one at AAA. A guy at AA, it's even better than that. Leo Bernal is killing it at AA right now, and you got a kid in A-ball who's only barely 18 years old hitting bombs. So they've got a whole nice run of catchers lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing to have, because they're always valuable.
It's going to be exciting.
It's a huge week, man. I mean, yeah. And what I think I texted this to all the sports guys last night when we were kind of kicking around this week and what it all means and all that. I hope this kind of restarts the rivalry, because it's been dead.
Yeah.
Like, the rivalry's just been for a couple years now, in part because of the 2 teams being that way, right?
Right.
Like, Milwaukee's been winning the division. The Cubs and the Cardinals haven't been living up to expectations, but the Cubs are definitely doing that now.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals are in range. They're not far off of where they've been at this point of the year in the years where they've made playoff runs.
And then we play them again over the 4th, right?
Yeah. So you got a week and a half, and you play them again up in Chicago. So this is, it's an important run, and as long as this doesn't go 0-4 for you, you're fine. As long as you don't get swept, you're fine.
Yeah.
If you were to do the sweeping, you'd be a half game behind the Cubs at the end of the series. So.
A rivalry renewed.
Here's the pitch. Line drive, there it is! Into left field! Hit number 3,000! A run is scored! Musial around first! On his way to second with a double! Holy cow, he came through!
Cards, Cubs, tonight. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
It's Trish. Your bathroom might be small, but fixing it can feel huge. Outdated fixtures, the tub that's seen better days. At Michael's Bath, they specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits your budget and your lifestyle. Whether you want a walk-in shower, better storage, or a fresh modern look, they make it simple, clean, and budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, just quality workmanship you can trust. Call Michael's Bath today for your free, no-pressure estimate. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbath.com.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. Gosh, I bet it's been 20 years now since I met Tommy Ribicki, and he was 20 years younger, a young guy with his dad, Ken Ribicki, who is a physician, and they had created this multivitamin. And they did it because Ken was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, has less than a 1% survival rate. He beat it, and he couldn't find any multivitamins that could bring his energy back, so he made his own. And when he had survived cancer and got the all clear, he mass-produced it and started marketing it. Back then, they were only in a couple of mom-and-pop pharmacies. Now they're Schnucks and Deerbergs, and they're across Illinois and across Missouri and Iowa. So it's the real deal. It has everything you need, nothing that you don't. Again, you can find it at local grocery stores or at neovitin.com.
Special report. Iran has retaliated against the U.S. for the attacks on its nuclear facilities over the weekend. It fired several short to medium-range missiles at a U.S. base in Qatar. CBS's Charlie D'Agata at the Pentagon.
This is not only one of the biggest bases, but it's also one of the best defended. It might be symbolic that the Iranians are saying, look, we're going to hit you right where you live, right at your central command.
Margaret Brennan reports the attack was not unexpected.
The United States and Qatar were able to be in communication well in advance of the attack actually being launched to prepare for what was about to come.
Foreigners had been ordered to shelter in place. The U.S. says there were no American casualties. CBS's Holly Williams.
If it indeed was a calibrated, almost a theatrical response, then do we also see diplomatic wheels turning? Do we see Iran capitulating or at least agreeing to curtail its nuclear program? Or does this potentially spiral out of control?
CBS News Special Report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
We take you now to Dave Murray's weather forecast.
What we see, what we feel is what we get going through our Monday afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's hot. It's humid. 98 for the high. The heat index should peak out at about 105. These are now the longest days of summer, and it's nothing but pure summer weather for us. Mostly clear skies, 90s for evening plans, warm and humid all night long. Only 78 for the low. The city may not get below 80 degrees. Tuesday, sunny, hot, and humid. Keep the idea of a pop thunderstorm. Focus on the afternoon hours, and pop is the key word. 95. Same story on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for Supplement Superstores. I have been a customer there for 13 years for two reasons. They have the greatest employees. They are so helpful. Everybody is a pro. Everybody is a certified sports nutrition specialist. They're all personal trainers. They've got all kinds of great ways to help you with an eating plan and workouts and things to go along with the supplements that you're there to purchase. Of course, it's Supplement Superstores. But I love them, too, because they always have the top-of-the-line supplements. They're always at the front edge. And right now, that is 213 Complex. Get into Supplement Superstores and ask them about it. And in fact, just go in and say, Kevin Wheeler told me about this 213 Flashpoint thing, this 213 Complex thing. What is it all about? They're going to explain it to you. They'll give you 20% off, by the way, when you drop my name. But the simple version is this. It boosts your metabolism, so you burn fat around the clock. It eliminates cravings, which is my favorite part. That's my weakness. I get the cravings. I give in, or I just don't pay attention. I'm going to eat something. I get a lot of help from 213 Complex when it comes to the cravings. You burn fat overnight by lowering cortisol levels. A lot of great benefits, but just get in and ask them. Again, say Kevin Wheeler sent you, and they'll get you 20% off the 213 Complex. It's available at Supplement Superstores. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Tonight,
The Cards, the Cubs.
Ameren Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. When real stuff goes down in the world, we reach out to our friend Colonel Jeff McCausland, who joins us now. Colonel, always a privilege.
Dave, great to be with you.
So, Colonel, the way this one seems to me is based on whatever intelligence the president liked. He thought that Iran was getting too close for his comfort. We hit their nuclear sites. They have tried to hit one of our places in Qatar, but Qatar knew about it. I guess we knew about it, intercepted it. Is this sort of the same kind of thing from Iran that we saw after Soleimani, Colonel?
Could well be, because we had, in that particular regard, we hit and killed Soleimani. They responded and hit a U.S. base, injured a significant number of American troops, though, by the way. But at the time, President Trump decided he would not respond. In crisis management terms, this is called, what do you do on the third move? The third move. Each side has made a move. The third move then is critical. So the president could offer saying, okay, we hit you, you hit back, we didn't suffer any casualties, thank you very much. That's the end of this particular exchange. And then, of course, it's up to the up to the Iranians whether or not they accept that or whether or not they continue to escalate.
So, Colonel, I'm at the age that the Iranian hostage crisis happened when I was in high school. I had a couple of foreign exchange students who are from Iran who played on my soccer team I was friends with. It was a very impactful time for me. Iran has always seemed like a bully, and they've always seemed like a paper tiger. I know that they have resources, but they've always just, like, they like to smack talk like a guy in a bar. More to them than that, or am I assessing that kind of correctly militarily?
I think there's more to it than that, quite frankly. We have to understand we've been in kind of a proxy war with Iran, you could argue, since 1979 when you were in high school. They struck the Khobar Towers, killed a lot of Americans back in the early 90s at the end of the Gulf War. We got to remember, of course, that they provided explosive devices to Iraqi Shiite militia groups, killed probably 600 American soldiers. Groups they support have attacked American bases in Iraq and Syria. There have been other terrorist attacks around the world. So they have done some grievous damage to the United States, and we've had, like I said, a proxy conflict, killing Soleimani, and the response, as we mentioned at the top, being just another illustration. They still maintain a significant amount of military power, and they got kind of, at this moment, I think, a Hobson's choice. And the Hobson's choice is, on the one hand, we could escalate more dramatically against the United States, try to close the Straits of Hormuz, perhaps to attack another American base, perhaps track a regional ally of the United States, and really probably suffer enormous damage, and the United States came back and struck us again. Or we can do nothing, and hopefully this will be a fig leaf for them, what they've done, and take away the last shred of legitimacy we have in the eyes of the population, which may bring us down as well. So they're kind of a Hobson's choice. The second problem we got is the Israelis have done a really good job, not only of destroying Iranian nuclear facilities, missile silos, etc. They've killed off a lot of the leadership. Well, that then does damage to your opponent's command and control. It means that there's nobody there to necessarily turn things off. And each of the particular actors then perhaps act independently. Does the Quds Force make their own decisions independently now because centralized control is gone? Does the IRGC act separately? Does the military act separately? And you got just that individual general making a choice as opposed to a unified response coming out of the leadership of the country.
Colonel, would you say the greater danger is them somehow using their actual military force to project outward, or is the greater danger that they continue to feed and maybe even further feed the groups that carry out terrorist attacks around the world?
Well, we've got to prepare for both. There's no two ways about that. You've got to try to minimize risk. They could also, of course, attack, as you suggest, with terrorist groups. There's sleeper cells they've got around the world and make hits elsewhere. They could conduct cyber attacks. There have been a report that an Iranian cyber group actually closed down a Truth Social for some period of time. They could certainly do that. Or, like I said, the real danger to me is they strike out more broadly against one of our allies, like the Saudis or the Emiratis or the Qataris. Look at how vulnerable their oil production and refining facilities are. And then you draw that into a wider conflict or close down the Straits of Hormuz. So those are the broader concerns that I would have right now. But the Iranians have, like I said, a choice of bad options, but that doesn't mean they don't have capabilities. They do. And even though they have a series of bad options, they may choose one of those, and we just don't know yet.
So, Colonel, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, but he's my president, and if he thought this needs to happen, then I support him. But I will say this, wow, what a military operation all the way around.
No, I think you're exactly right. I mean, this was a spectacular military operation. Whether you're in favor of it or opposed to it, the U.S. military just did a spectacular job. Think about it. Every service was involved in some fashion. Many of our command headquarters, European Command, Central Command, Space Force, Cyber Command, Indo-Pacific Command, because of the deception operation, all of those were operated. We launched B-2 bombers on a 38-hour, we all did airplane rides, probably a 38-hour round-trip airplane ride to drop bombs on targets in Iran. Had to refuel 5 or 6 times en route and to get home. 125-plus aircraft involved, refuelers, fighters, reconnaissance aircraft. Coordinated that attack with a launching of about 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles. All those apparently hit target. Total operation security was maintained throughout. Everybody got home. Nobody even got a hangnail. That's a pretty great military operation.
Amen.
On the other hand, however, what bothers me on the back to the presidency is my belief is that the attack on Iran would have to be construed as an act of war. Lord knows if they attack one of our nuclear facilities, we think it's an act of war. And my Constitution says that that's a decision made by the United States Congress in support of the president. And there was no imminent threat. No one has argued that Iran was getting ready to drop a bomb on the United States. That was not going to occur. And the president himself said he would take up to 2 weeks to decide. So there was sufficient time to go to the Congress for that particular vote, which I would argue, if he could have done that, if he would have done that, would have strengthened his position, not only with the Iranians, but with our other adversaries around the globe. And so I worry about ignoring that process and what that means for the democracy and future, whether you're in favor of this attack or you're opposed to it.
It's interesting. How would this compare in terms of actions, Colonel, compared to past bombings that didn't necessarily, and I mean, we're talking about administrations from probably Clinton all the way through through Obama, where there have been actions, and I don't know how similar they are, but actions, bombings, drone attacks, et cetera, that did not come along with congressional approval. Are those different in the sense of maybe they were already in theater, for example, like in Iraq or Afghanistan, things along those lines?
No, I think they were more driven by at least some kind of an argument of an imminent threat to the United States.
Right.
And I'll suggest two. One was, of course, Barack Obama deciding not to go after the Syrians when they used the nerve gas facilities, and suddenly announced he was going to go to Congress for a vote, which he did, and then he never did anything thereafter. Okay, but that also was construed as not an imminent attack to the United States. Contrast that to the attack in Berlin by a group of Libyans supported by the Libyan government, killed a bunch of Americans. It's traced to them. Imminent threat because we've now had one attack against Americans. And so President Reagan ordered an immediate response to strike Libya to say, you don't want to do another attack. You really, really don't want to do that. But that, of course, was construed with an imminent threat to the United States or to U.S. forces somewhere around the world.
Excellent analysis. Yeah. Can't ask for more, Colonel. We appreciate it. That's Colonel Jeff McCausland. Colonel, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Boy, is good.
Yeah, that's great to lay that out, too, because that's the reason I wanted to ask it is because every circumstance is different, right? If you're already in, for example, Iraq or Afghanistan, there's already an action in play. Well, then dropping bombs or using drones or whatever in those places, whether it was W at the beginning or Obama and heck, Obama, Trump, Biden, all the way up until Biden got, screwed up the extraction of troops in there. Like all of that was already a part of an action that was in place, not just a separate thing.
And what's interesting
but it was a good explanation that he gave.
You have to believe that the president didn't do it, among other reasons. He was afraid he couldn't get the votes. And how that would make the country look and how it would make him look if his own, because, MAGA is split down the middle right now.
Oh, there's a lot of people not happy about
hate
that.
This.
Yeah.
And so had he gone to Congress, he may have walked away empty-handed.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about defining these things, right? This is where what's the right analogy? That it's where the rubber meets the road, right? Is what defines imminent threat?
Yeah.
Is imminent could be today, imminent could be 2 weeks from today, and I know that's probably the wiggle room that this is all going to happen within.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. That's why I wanted to hear him lay it out because the Colonel knows it.
Smart Mouth Rach?
Yeah, the great thing about Smart Mouth, like I always say, it actually works. You can pick up any bottle of mouth rinse out there, and it'll make you feel better about your breath for a little while, but your bad breath's going to come creeping back. With Smart Mouth, they use activated zinc ions that bind to the bacteria in your mouth and prevent them from producing stinky sulfur gas. That is your bad breath. So if you can prevent that sulfur gas from happening, you can prevent your bad breath all day long. You use it once in the morning and once at night, and you suddenly have 24-hour bad breath protection.
There is the original formula. There is Gum Health, which I use. There's Mouth Sore, which I use. There's the kids formula, which I don't use. There are mints. There's toothpaste. There are so many different things that you can get Smart Mouth related at your local grocery store or convenience store, even across the country. If you go on a trip and you forget it, I can save you $2.50 off it when you go to smartmouth.com/Glover.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're part of it. Expert care and genuine support backed by a network that puts your health first. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella Window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 150. I've lost show prep. I just don't know what to talk about. Very honest here, aren't we? Very open. Very transparent.
That's what we do.
It's not really a show. It's more of an experience.
Yeah.
You're experiencing it with us. I don't know what to talk about. You're seeing it happen live. Where did my girl Jennifer go? Dave, love your shirt jersey. Thank you. This jersey, this is like my piece of clothing. Like you have your go-to piece of clothing, right? This is mine.
It's a good shirt.
Thank you.
You could wear it every day like a cartoon if you wanted to.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Could be your Charlie Brown shirt.
I was getting made fun of by my friend Trish Gazelle over the weekend. We were just talking about how times have changed and kids have it so easy and all this kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, I remember taking Phoebe and her friends in a limousine to go to American Doll Girl to get their blueberry facials and stuff. And she was like, that's a euphemism, right? I'm like, no, I really did that. She's like, you rented a limousine and took Phoebe and her friends to the American Girl store. Yes. That happened in life.
I mean, that sounds extremely fun to me.
It was a good time.
I always wanted to go. I don't think they had the one in Chesterfield when I was like young enough for that to be a thing, but they did have the American Girl doll store in Chicago. And it was a dream of mine to go up there and have tea. And then also get like the matching outfit with your American Girl doll. You could do that.
Phoebe was all about disabilities.
Yes, you've said this.
Yeah, her dolls always had casts and wheelchairs and crutches.
I saw this
hospitalizations.
I saw the sweetest video over the weekend of this mom who uses a wheelchair, and she took her daughter to Build-A-Bear, and the little girl wanted to get a wheelchair for her bear so she could look just like her mommy. It was really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Build-A-Bear was like,
great that they
we
offer
don't
stuff
have
like
those.
that.
We don't really sell those here.
Who are your American Girls?
I had Felicity and Kit.
Are they still around?
Yeah, my nieces play with them.
That's nice. Do they get the whole culture?
No. No.
They're just dolls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like Blair might be old enough now to like kind of start reading the books, but they played with them like since they were babies.
Is it still a thing? Like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
there still? Is there still like an American Girl store and all that stuff?
Absolutely, yes.
That's fun.
Am I the only one? I know it's such a cliche, and I know it's such an old man get off my lawn thing, but am I the only one who finds it actually annoying that the news runs all of the "it's hot outside, make sure you hydrate"?
Well, I mean, Dave Murray doesn't like those things, or does he care about that one?
I know he doesn't like the
performative,
the
like
performative
standing on the highway
exaggeration.
overpass things.
I just don't like when my anchor's telling me to wear light clothing and to make sure I drink enough. I get pissed off.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
I agree because I feel the same way. Like, why do I need to be told that? But then I watch what people do over the weekends, and I'm like, oh, that's probably why they do that.
Well, honestly, just like throwing myself under the bus here, like today I had drank a soda and a little bit of an energy drink, and I wasn't feeling well. And then I thought about it. I'm like, I should be drinking water, just like Wheels said last week.
Well,
I should be drinking it all the time because I'm working out in the heat every morning, too.
I'm on my high horse about how stupid it is that the news tells us to drink water.
Dave's like, I don't drink water.
And I'm not drinking any water. So
I don't drink any stinking water.
Doing just fine with my Mountain Dew Summer Freeze, like I told you guys.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Doing
And you
well
guys
with my
are
Red Bull.
spending.
I think we're doing fine, thank you.
You're spending 99% of your day indoors. You're
Oh, more
fine.
than that.
You're fine. Yeah.
99.
Yeah.
99 is.
You're fine.
If I'm spending 99% of my time indoors, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to the day game on Thursday, you probably want to take a different approach.
Like Rach, getting in Big Mac land.
Right. Rach. Yeah, for sure.
Because, of course, she's going to use those tickets.
Yeah.
Catching fly balls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like I have no choice.
Yeah.
Cook a Big Mac in your lap.
I need to wear a bee suit for that kind of game. Cover yourself up.
Man,
it's gonna be hot.
Thank God for sunblock, though. Am I right, Wheels? Where would we
Dude,
be without it? I've been using the Banana Boat 50 Sport.
Yeah.
That's some of the best you can get.
50's like my low end.
Really?
So on Saturday, I went through almost a full bottle.
I'm so stupid. When I was young, I didn't want a number.
Oh?
I just wanted the oil. So, like, when I was at the...
That's what makes it worse.
When I was, like, a teenager and in my 20s, and they're like, I have 10 and 20 and 50. I'm like, what do you have under 10? They're like, So
those
Wesson?
those
Yeah,
Band
water.
those Band of Soleil commercials got you, didn't they?
Oh, boy, did they ever.
You guys don't even know that, do you?
I'm telling you. Look, I know you don't listen to older people, but I have tattoos. So listen to me. Use sunscreen. Go to the dentist. Save your money.
There you go.
Don't end up like me.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-6600. 7470. Online, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
Went shopping at Schnucks this weekend. Gosh, I feel like I say that to you guys every single Monday, but it's true. It's just part of my weekend routine. And another part of that Schnucks routine is stopping by the bakery and getting some delicious donuts. And I got some good ones this weekend. I got the fried croissant. I got a blueberry fritter, a blueberry cake donut, and then like a raspberry jelly donut with white icing on it. Ooh, it was so good. They all got devoured. Schnucks has an amazing bakery. If you need to pick up something for a family get-together, something for work, something for church, Schnucks has a really solid bakery that you can count on, and the price is always right. And when I'm shopping at Schnucks, I always make sure to use my Schnucks Rewards app. I earn 2% cash back on every single thing I purchase, which is amazing. Plus, there's tons of digital offers and coupons, even personalized savings based on what I typically buy at Schnucks. There's so many features that make my grocery shopping experience even better when I use the Schnucks Rewards app. Go download it today.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Coming up in October, I will have my 25th anniversary of being on the air. And 1 month after that, I'll have my 25th anniversary of representing Mike at Michael's Flooring Outlet. He started in November of 2000 with me. He's been with me continuously the entire time. So as you can imagine, not only do I trust him and have zero reservations about referring you to him, but I have great affection for him. Love the guy. He's been great to me, great to the show, great to all of my listeners. And at this point, it's got to be 5,000 people who have been to Michael's to do wall-to-wall carpeting or area rugs or linoleum or tile or hardwoods. He has 3 locations. They are very nice. He, like Triton Exteriors, like most of my other live clients who do products, is probably going to be the middle bid because he doesn't sell cheap crap. He also isn't in Ladue or Clayton, and he's not going to try to take advantage of you. You can find him at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it's a sunny sky. Right now, 93 degrees downtown at the Arch. And our top story this hour.
CBS News special report. Iran says it launched an attack on a U.S. airbase in Qatar 2 days after the U.S. struck 3 nuclear sites in Iran. Arwija Jang heard this from a U.S. defense official.
The Al Udeid Air Base was attacked by short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles originating from Iran today, adding that at this time there are no reports of U.S. casualties. Of course, they are closely monitoring the situation.
About 10,000 U.S. troops are based there. Our Holly Williams is in neighboring Iraq.
We spoke to one Middle Eastern security expert who said that essentially the Iranian regime did have to respond because otherwise it risked looking weak and being humiliated in front of its own people.
Correspondent Margaret Brennan.
It appears that attack by Iran has been concluded, though we haven't yet heard that there won't be further attacks later.
Iran says it targeted the base because it was outside of populated areas. CBS News special report, I'm Matt Piper.
This is Megan Lynch. With escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran, cybersecurity experts are bracing for online attacks against critical infrastructure, such as our water supplies or power grids.
It's definitely something that these groups have been known to do in the past, and I think that this is only going to ramp up those attempts.
Jonathan Talk, managing partner at Single Wave Technologies, adds other threat actors typically try to take advantage of conflicts like this to stage their own attacks.
This afternoon, Governor Mike Kehoe will announce his nominees to serve on the St. Louis City Police Board that will oversee the department. After signing the bill to state takeover in March, Kehoe gave a preview to KMOX of the kind of people he plans to appoint to this board.
We're going to put people on we think will give a balanced approach that have the public safety at heart and that will try to help move the city forward.
The announcement's going to be made this afternoon at a 3:30 news conference. A new study says downtown attractions brought in more than $572 million for the St. Louis region last year.
Ryan McClure with Gateway Arch Park Foundation says the study focused on the impact being made by the City River project, completed in 2018, and includes overhauls of the Arch grounds, Keener Plaza, and St. Louis Riverfront.
It really shows what the investment in Gateway Arch National Park accomplishes for our region. I mean, that's more than $500 million every year that the Gateway Arch and its surroundings contribute to our economy.
According to the study, the project supported about 4,800 jobs and generated $30.7 million in tax revenue for the St. Louis region in 2024. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk, St. Luke's Hospital in De Paris told its employees it'll be closing its doors come August 1st. KMOX Health Editor Fred Bottomer.
Officials with St. Luke's say they will discontinue all hospital services at the De Paris location only. But St. Luke's Medical Group practices located in the De Paris medical office buildings will remain open and continue to serve the community. It will also continue to provide care at St. Luke's Hospital in Chesterfield and its more than 30 outpatient centers, including its De Paris urgent care site. In a news release, St. Luke's officials say despite the dedication and hard work of all their team members, the hospital has faced persistently low utilization and increasing financial pressures, and its operation as an acute care facility is no longer viable for St. Luke's. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Dow from Steeples up 327 points to 42,534. We've got emergency vehicles 141 south at 64. Have the right lane closed. Stalled vehicle 141 south at 64 as well.
What we see and what we feel is what we get going through our Monday afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's hot. It's humid. 98 for the high. The heat index should peak out at about 105. These are now the longest days of summer, and it's nothing but pure summer weather for us. Mostly clear skies. 90s for evening plans. Warm and humid all night long. Only 78 for the low. The city may not get below 80 degrees. Tuesday, sunny, hot, and humid. Keep the idea of a pop thunderstorm. Focus on the afternoon hours, and pop is the key word. 95. Same story on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies. We've got a sunny sky, 93. The feels like is up to 96 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Probably don't need to tell you about the weather. Hot as hell out there. And they're saying that the advisory goes through Wednesday, but then the temperature goes up on Thursday. So we have to piece this one out with Dave Murray.
Yeah.
Not sure how that works.
Maybe they're just assuming by then everybody gets the message.
Maybe. But it's supposed to be bad all the way through,
Yeah.
even this weekend. I mean, even when it goes down, you're talking like 90.
Yeah.
So
Everybody stay safe, please. You guys ever... Dave, I
Don't
know
forget
you
to wear loose
used-
clothes and drink water.
I know you used a sweat rag in the past.
because I was fat.
Have you ever just done like the wet rag and like carried that like around your neck when it's hot outside?
No, I I've not been in that many situations, honestly, where I was just like dying. But I will use it. I'll go on a run where I'll use it in bed, where I'll take like a washcloth, get it wet, wring it out, put it in the freezer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn from me.
Sounds quite nice.
And then take it and put it around my neck. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't shave or trim my hair at all this weekend because, like Nick's been saying, I need to grow it out, and I realized exactly what I look like. Okay, you ready? I look exactly like Baby Yoda. That's exactly what my hair looks like. We have the same amount of hair. We have the same thickness of hair. Everything about Baby Yoda is me.
I'm looking at like a fuzzy picture of him, and it's just killing me.
I don't even have to look at the picture. I know exactly what you're referring to.
If I didn't do anything until Friday, I would walk in here looking like, what's his name, Gorku or something?
Grogu.
Grogu.
Gorku.
Gorko.
What was it with Carl Middleman?
He was wearing a hat that was like Baby Yoda shaped or something, like a hood or something. And you walked by him, and he said, "I'm Baby Grogu," just like that. And you went, "Oh, okay." And then you walked into where Rachel was, and you were like, "Why is he effing Gorky baby or whatever?"
Gorpo kid.
Gorpo baby.
I was like, I don't know.
It was a real moment. It was a real moment.
You're like, what did he say to me? Gorky? Gorky baby?
I think that's a slur. I don't think they're allowed to say that.
It was like a zip-up thing, like
Yeah.
a hoodie.
He has a couple.
He has a couple of those.
And
He has an
just-
R2D2
he
one
just
too.
zipped it up. He's like, I'm Gorku. And I'm like, all right.
Right on, brother.
I'm Gorku.
You be you. Like you let me not shave my head for a couple.
He had a bunch of stuff in his basement. He had some guys come in to like work on his water and his electric and stuff. And he was like very upset. And so I asked him what was wrong. And he just goes, "They better not touch my baby Grogu's." And I was like, "You got an interesting life, man."
Yes, he does. No doubt about
Well,
it.
for a while there, I don't know what year that was, but for a while there, literally anything Grogu was like sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you had to go like order in advance or just wait.
It's one of those things where I have such a lack of respect for the franchise because they're so obvious about it. Like, we're going to sell like a zillion of these guys.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, man.
But they deliver. Like, the first time I saw Baby Yoda, I'm just like, well, hell.
I mean, he's great.
Take my money.
Every store, so Disneyland has enough places to like buy merchandise that a lot of the stores are themed. Like there's a Spider-Man themed store for the Spider-Man ride or whatever. Every store has something Baby Yoda in it. They had these little magnet things where you put them on like your shoulder or your hat, and it's like a little thing that'll stay on your shoulder all day. Those were sold at like hot dog stands. Those were everywhere you would go. They'd be like, "You want this Gorky baby?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good, thank you."
I love Gorky Baby because I think he looks like my cat.
All right.
With the big eyes, I'm like, oh.
So Dave would then look like your cat?
Yeah, you look like Lucy.
This didn't go well for Dave. Tried to have a funny little self-deprecating segment.
As soon as you said it, we're like, oh, yeah, you know, I've been waiting for you to say Baby Yoda, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I do feel a little bad about that. That we were all like, "Yes, perfect."
Finally, somebody nailed it.
We've been trying to think of what it was. It's that horrible little green monster.
Dave, you do look like a tiny Wishnick and my cat.
Hey, that is not derogatory at all to say.
I was just thinking what you look like. It's the grotesque creature. Yes.
Baby
Okay.
Yoda is not grotesque. He's cute.
He's very cute.
And he's got the Force.
He's very cute, but if you found that thing under your porch,
No.
you wouldn't be happy about it.
I would be
hugging
thrilled.
him.
I'd be thrilled. Like, come on in, buddy.
You would stomp that
Thrilled is
thing.
the perfect
No.
word.
Come on
if
in, buddy.
You're on your porch, and a sparsely haired head sticks out, and you're like, "It's Gork." It's Dave. It's Dave. It's just Dave.
And I would say the same thing. Come on in, buddy.
Yeah, he's.
Come on in, buddy. Let's go hang out.
Wait,
See,
what's
your
his real
dogs would
name?
rip
Grogu.
Gorpy apart.
Oh, he's got the Force. He's fine.
Grogu is his real name.
I honestly get mixed up because I'm always like Baby Gorko. Like
Yeah,
he's
no,
so-
I was doing it. I was doing it in like Disneyland, and my wife was getting upset with me. She's like, "Why do you keep saying that?" I'm like, "I can't really. It's hard to explain."
It's an inside joke.
Just understand that he is Gorpy Baby to me.
Oh my God!
And your dogs would rip him apart.
Nah, they
your dogs
would not.
would devour him within
They would
moments.
not. They're friendly with other little creatures. They just don't like big dogs.
Oh my gosh, he looks so cute in this picture.
Thanks.
He's sweet.
They just did
It was bad. It was bad because I was looking in my bathroom mirror and the sun was behind me.
Okay.
So it was just
Fully lit up.
I know what you mean.
just like 79 blonde hair sticking up.
What does Werner Herzog say? I would like to see the
I would
baby.
like to see the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean about that sunlight. I don't mind the mirror look, but when I catch my shadow reflection, I'm like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
No, if there's ever a reason to see yourself from behind, it's never ever good. You're just not used to it. Like, oh, so that's what everyone else sees. Okay.
Too bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to look at the ground when I'm walking past a fire hydrant and I can see what my reflection looks like.
Man, there's a satellite that went up in 1964, the same year I went up, and it's been dead for like 50 years, dead as a doornail, and it just put out a huge radio burst. Weird, huh? So
That's
they're
kinda
saying
cool.
like, oh, yes, these things happen. It's probably a micrometeor that hit it and blah, 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 but they don't know.
I wish they wouldn't tell us this stuff if they don't know. Like, just
They
got me
know.
worried now.
They're just lying.
Did you see the It's similar to that. They just like discovered some kind of radio wave that came through the ice in Antarctica.
Yes.
But they don't understand how it would have gone through all the rock underneath. They think that's going to add to our understanding of physics once they figure out how it happened.
Well, you know, if you think about it, Wheels, I know you're really into this, like the cyclical nature of life, and that there was a time in the 1800s when they were beginning to find dinosaurs, when they're like terror lizards, like they had no idea what it was, but they had the technology to look into it. So now we have technology to see things and to sense things, which we didn't 50 years ago. So we were really smart about dinosaurs 50 years ago, but now we're getting radio bursts from the ice. We're like, what are those?
Yeah, I feel very stupid all the time because, you know, I am. But then I feel less stupid when something like this happens and Kevin says, like, yeah, it might change the way we understand physics. And it's like, okay, so you guys don't even know.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
they
the
know
smart
what
people don't even know.
They know what there is to know.
But that could be all wrong.
I mean, it's been true in the past. You're right. It's been wrong. I mean, the whole world, everybody used to think it was flat. And now still some people do for some reason.
And now a bunch of people do still.
They also, I thought this was cool, they found a canoe, which is probably thousands of years old, and it was just floating down a New York River. And they think that it just
dislodged
it
somewhere?
just dislodged from wherever someone left it thousands of years ago. And it just
thousands?
Yeah, they said it's between hundreds and thousands, more likely thousands, because they haven't carbon dated it.
So,
but by the look of it, it would have been indigenous people.
I was going to say it had to be a native.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
How's it still in one piece?
Yeah.
How's it still floatable?
It's just a big piece of wood
still
with the middle
seaworthy.
hewn out.
Man.
Pretty cool, though, huh?
Yeah.
Neat.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Neato.
Now they just make them so you have to replace them.
They're not like those 1,000-year-old canoes.
This is can you imagine building it like this is a 1,000-year canoe right here?
So funny, I'm looking at my show sheet and all my ideas, and really tiny as an afterthought is Baby Yoda. Who knew how big that one was going to get?
I mean, listen, Baby Yoda took over the entire Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
for
you
a while.
underestimated that you're talking to three people
Yeah.
who really love Baby
Yeah.
Yoda a lot.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Baby Yoda memes?
Oh, yeah.
They're so bad, like they're not funny, but people will just be like me when I gotta go to work, and then it's just a picture of Baby Yoda,
Just
and
staring.
those things do numbers, like unlike anything I've ever seen.
And it's almost all the same scene.
Yeah.
Where he's just standing there staring.
Yeah, there's nothing like special going on, but people are like, yes.
Works for me.
This one says, you ever
Makes
forget
me
what you're
laugh.
doing and you just stand here loading?
Maybe that's how I go viral. I grow my hair out and put big ears on, and
maybe
just do memes.
Yeah. Big dark eyes. Tell you guys about my friends over at Triton Exteriors. Whether it is an emergency, we haven't had a bad storm come through since the big one that hit North City. But we're always getting little stuff, and if you get hit, then that's a big storm. So if you do get hit and you lose some shingles or siding, which, by the way, if you had James Hardy and Smart siding that's not going to be affected by even the big storms that we've been getting, gutters and fences, or it could be elective. Could just be that you have a change coming up in your life. You're going to sell your house, and the realtor has looked at it and said, well, you're going to need a new roof. Might as well get that done now, or any number of reasons. You're going to find that we are honest, that we are very communicative. We'll get back to you the same day. We'll get to you in the next couple of days and get your work done the next couple of weeks. That's usually the way it goes. 314-717-1159, Triton-STL.com.
Do you know what went down at the Viper Room the night River Phoenix died? Are you aware of how Steve McQueen escaped death at the hands of the Manson family? But what about the real-life brutal murder that inspired David Lynch's Twin Peaks? These stories and more are told in the Hollywoodland podcast, where true crime and Tinseltown collide. Follow and listen to Hollywoodland wherever you get your podcasts.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. Get an affordable online skills-based education to move your career forward. UMGC offers no-cost digital materials in place of textbooks in most courses, low-cost tuition, and over $21 million in scholarship opportunities each aid year. Find out if you qualify at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpractice your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Just dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword Windows. That's pound 250 keyword Windows, or head to rbastl.com.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 221. Going to be going to all of the Cubs games. If you happen to see me at the ballpark, make sure you say hello. Never bothers me. I always love seeing people.
You are very friendly when people approach you.
Yeah, I love it.
Can vouch for that.
It's not even like, oh, time to be nice.
Yeah.
I just like meeting people.
Yeah.
Like my Canadian friends.
Yeah.
They were fun.
Just don't knock on your door.
Well, not unannounced.
Yeah.
Anyone who does that scares the hell out of me.
What if I did that?
Oh, it'd be fine.
Would you peek around the curtains like I was delivering food?
No, I would run upstairs and look out my upstairs windows like a freak, like a horror movie. And then I'd see it was you, and I would run back downstairs and be like, oh, hey.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, come
What's
on in.
going on?
Little big catch.
Little big catch.
Hey, let's do it. I'm always up for that.
Amy says she'll be at the game tomorrow night. Find me, Amy.
Nice.
He's going to be hiding from you, and you have to find him somewhere in the stadium.
Instead of where's Waldo, where's Dave?
Where's Dave?
Where's Glover?
Razor's Edge?
Yeah, a couple of things I wanted to talk about for Razor's Edge today. The first one is the fact that Mattel, the toy company, apparently has plans to add ChatGPT to toys.
Oh, what a terrible idea.
Bad idea.
Yes. And some child welfare experts are absolutely horrified by this. They say children do not have the cognitive capacity to distinguish fully between reality and play. But Mattel says, hey, no, leveraging this incredible technology is going to allow us to really reimagine the future of play. Which, putting aside all of the dangers that I would think would be associated with incorporating just not even AI, but just like the internet into a toy, the way it could be hacked, the way it could be manipulated, the things that could be coming through. Do we really need to reimagine play for tiny children?
Right.
I think they're doing just fine with their imagination. I don't know when the last time was you just handed a kid like a stick or like a paper plate and some paints or some Play-Doh. They go nuts. They love that stuff. They don't need like the doll to actually talk back. That's part of play, is like watching them have conversations
one of our problems
that they're creating themselves.
Yeah, we don't have enough empty space.
We've also lost, in part, more than ever due to AI, we've lost critical thinking skills. We've lost imagination. We just ask AI to do all of that stuff for us. And so if we move, these kids aren't going to have a chance.
I really predict, and I don't know what I'm talking about here. I don't even know what the subgenres of AI are, but we're not going to keep it out of the military. We're not going to keep it out of science and physics and such. But I do have a pretty good educated guess, just a gut vibe, and I've talked about this before, based on my own rejection of it. Like, I just saw an article today that 90% of ads in the next 10 years are going to be AI. And I just think that people in general are going to push against it the way I have. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the jobs it takes. And I just think that when it comes to entertainment and advertising, we're going to say no. Could be completely wrong, and all of our movies could be AI in 10 years, but I just think we're going to say no.
I think there will always be people like you, Dave, who are resistant to it. The problem is there are tons of people, like on Facebook, for example, who have just completely fallen in love with like the AI cat videos or whatever the heck is going on over there. People do seem to really like it, but there are just as many people who are like repelled by it.
I know a lot of times with stuff, it is my age, but I don't feel like this one's my age. Like, I'm perfectly, look, I grew up in the sci-fi era. You tell me you have artificial intelligence. You tell me it's going to make my life easier. I don't have to work. I can imagine something and the food's going to show up in a little holodeck. I'm down. I am not like a Luddite, but I just don't like it. I just don't like the look and the feel and the vibe of it.
I think there's a time and place for AI. I think it can be incredible for many different situations. I don't think it's toys, though, and child psychologists are saying it could undermine social development, interfere with a child's ability to form peer relationships, pull them away from playtime with their peers, and possibly inflict long-term harm. I mean, think about it. My little niece Darcy is obsessed with Moana. Let's say I gave her a Moana doll that talked to her, not just like, hi, I'm Moana, let's go surfing, or whatever happens in Moana. I've never seen the film. But it was like she has Moana now. Like Moana lives with her. Is she really going to want to go play with another 3-year-old, or is she going to go want to hang out with the coolest girl in the world in her mind? Like, it would be like pretty isolating for kids if they had access to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of troubling.
Plus, like so many things, you need to learn how to handle them before you're allowed to handle them. You know what I mean? Like, you got to learn how to, like, ride a big wheel and all those things before you ride a bike and all that before you're ever going to drive a car. Like, you don't just go, here you go. Here's a fast-moving vehicle. Jump in. You know, like, you work your way up to hard.
Moana.
You work your way up to difficult things. You don't get a phone.
Baby Gorku.
I mean, would you give your 3-year-old a phone?
Right.
Yes.
Well, there's like one not hooked up to the internet just so they don't bug me. I'd give him, you give him the iPad in the restaurant. To kill time. Come
Just
on.
to kill.
Now listen, this is only for killing.
Only. No happy.
This
just
is
kill.
only to harm yourself and others. Do not watch any
You
YouTube
are
videos.
great. This is not to reach out to friends. This is the kill.
I'm going to need you to be responsible for
This
me,
is
okay?
the kill phone. And remember,
someone comes for daddy. What do? We kill.
We have the kill phone.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center, and you have to know that you are somebody's favorite person, and your health matters not just to you, but it matters to people who care about you. Getting screened early for any cancer, whether it's colon or breast cancer, prostate cancer, or lung cancer, it is important to do that. Siteman has set up a website called GetScreenedNow.com. And when you go to it, it's going to help you find a location nearer you. If you live a little farther out from St. Louis and don't want to make the trip into the city, you can get screened closer to home. GetScreenedNow.com, because for me, I'm over 45. It's time for that colonoscopy. Third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women. And GetScreenedNow.com will help you find a location that is good for you. Doing it early, really, really important. GetScreenedNow.com.
It's Trish. Your bathroom might be small, but fixing it can feel huge. Outdated fixtures, the tub that's seen better days. At Michael's Bath, they specialize in affordable bathroom remodeling that fits your budget and your lifestyle. Whether you want a walk-in shower, better storage, or a fresh modern look, they make it simple, clean, and budget-friendly. No surprises, no gimmicks, just quality workmanship you can trust. Call Michael's Bath today for your free, no-pressure estimate. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbath.com.
We take you now to Dave Murray's forecast.
What we see, what we feel is what we get going through our Monday afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's hot. It's humid. 98 for the high. The heat index should peak out at about 105. These are now the longest days of summer, and it's nothing but pure summer weather for us. Mostly clear skies. 90s for evening plans. Warm and humid all night long. Only 78 for the low. The city may not get below 80 degrees. Tuesday, sunny, hot, and humid. Keep the idea of a pop thunderstorm. Focus on the afternoon hours, and pop is the key word. 95. Same story on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
We are Metro Transit. We don't just help ourselves and our neighbors get where we need to be. We help our whole region get where we want to be. Get on board at rideonmetro.org.
You had a solid retirement dream, sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler, I want to tell you about Game Day Men's Health. You can find them at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. So I guess I'll start with the easiest and simplest advice. If you're struggling with things like low energy, weight gain, performance issues, and those could be in the gym, bedroom, just in life, whatever. It doesn't matter. Check it out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. They have all kinds of great answers for problems. Like for me, I would just drag. You know, you feel like you just don't want to keep on doing your workout routine. It's harder to recover. You're tired all the time. And when I went in and did my initial consultation, did a blood test, found out that the testosterone numbers were too low. Now that they're normal, that's all gone. I feel like I did 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So you may have a different course of treatment. There may be a different thing for you, but they have great answers. Everything is overseen by board-certified physicians. The staff are trained experts. They're phenomenal. And it's an easy, simple experience, right? You're going to have one price explained up front. That's it. Any adjustments, everything's just included in that. You've got this really cool, relaxed environment, and you've got all kinds of places that you can go to check it out. You got 3 area locations. I go to Chesterfield. I go to O'Fallon, Missouri. Those are the ones that are nearest me. You can find out more at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. On Mondays, we talk to Bernie Miklasz. We do it again on Fridays. He joins us now. Bern, how's your weekend?
It was great. And you got me fired up playing the Talking Heads, man. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Weekend was great. Yep.
Very nice.
Weekend was great.
I don't know if anyone else is like this. I'm such a flaming ball of insecurity. When I was a kid and the Talking Heads came out, I thought they were too cool and too smart for me, so I didn't consume them. Like there was something going on I didn't get, and I was fine with that.
Well, I was like the young hipster Bernie who was like a teenager.
Yeah.
19 years old, I guess. I took a train up to New York City to see him play when they were first starting to break. Yeah.
That's
loved them.
When you were taking a train to see the Talking Heads, I was going to McDonald's with my mom and dad. Like I was such a dork, giant dork.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, David Burns is just unbelievable. He continues to go on and on and on. So yeah, man, glad to know you like the Talking Heads.
So let me wax philosophic for a second about the Cardinals. I realized over the weekend that besides being my childhood team and my home team and flagship station and all that, I really like this iteration of the team because they are so very human. I can't relate to the Dodgers. I can't relate to the Yankees. I relate to being behind in most games and having to come back. And I really like that about this team.
No, I agree with you. Listen, they have flaws. They have weaknesses. Sometimes it really gets exposed. Like when they lost, whatever it was, 7 or 8 in a row. That was a long losing streak. You know, they've had really hot streaks. They've had some really bad cold streaks. So they're inconsistent, but every time they get knocked down, they find a way to get back up and they keep fighting. And I really admire that about them. And also they play the game with joy. And I love sports teams and athletes who compete with joy. Of course, it's a serious business. We all know that. Of course, you got to be an intense competitor. But the best combination there is you see a team that competes its tail off, but is also like really, really happy to be doing what they do. And I think that shows with the Cardinals.
Bert, I watched one of your videos over the weekend where you talked about that the Cardinals have fallen in the eyes of the nation in that they're no longer playing stadiums, they're playing clubs. Maybe that'll help us go under the radar a little bit here in the middle of the season.
I was trying to think of an analogy, and I said, the Cardinals, when they were in their prime and on the stage, the big stage of October every year, they really were like this super band that was playing stadium tours, doing stadium tours. Now they're kind of like they're like at Chaffetz Arena or something. And they got to get back on that big stage. They got to get back to where they fill stadiums again. I think Chaim Bloom's going to get it done. It's just a matter of how, when. I mean, I like the direction they're taking, and I think it's going to pay off.
And on that note, with this series against the Cubs, this rivalry is kind of dormant. Like, there just hasn't been any heat in this for at least since COVID, because it's been a case where either one of them hasn't been good or both of them have been mediocre all at the same time. There hasn't been good on good in a long time, and I really want this week to reignite that a little bit. I want some heat. I want to see not temperature heat, but I want to see these two teams getting after each other.
Yeah, and it's an indictment on both of them, really, considering what they spend. Since 2017, the Brewers have more division titles, more playoff appearances, more postseason wins, more regular season wins than the Cardinals or the Brewers. That shouldn't happen.
No.
Given the financial situations and the financial firepower of both franchises, or all three franchises. But I agree with you. I mean, Cubs Cardinals is always an event. It's always an event. But I hate to always sound like the old timer, so to speak. But, days and nights of going up to Wrigley Field and, seeing Kerry Wood knock down Pujols, and he gets up and hits a bomb, with Mike Shannon saying,
"Take a whiff of that,
big boy." And there was a million things like that. I mean, it happened all the time. It was high drama. It was high action. It's pretty much just baseball, unless Miles Mikolas wants to try to start something by throwing at Ian Happ when he didn't need to, that kind of thing. But I think this one might spark something, because the Cubs have probably heard from where they are. It's like, oh, this Cardinals team, man, they're competitive. They'll get in your face. They're hot to go, man. Don't sleep on them. I think the Cubs would like to come down here and basically punch him in the mouth, so to speak, and put an end to all that.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'd like to, but I mean, they've been a 500 team for a month now or so. I mean, they got off to a really hot start. The last 17 games, I think they're 8-9, and they're only 4.5 games ahead. Like that. That's why this is interesting from a race perspective, right? Where the division race probably isn't going to be changed dramatically this week, but it could be. A sweep either direction changes it quite a bit from the perspective of these two teams.
Look, I see the Cubs as the team that's got the most potential, obviously, to play with it, because their offense is absolutely superior. Their offense is incredible. And listen, their starting pitching, they're going to need to get one. They're going to need to be a quality guy. Well, no wonder. They've had 7 pitchers on the IL this year, including their best 2 starters, Justin Steele and Imanaga. And then Imanaga's back for this series. So I can understand why the Cubs have scuffled a little bit with their starting pitching.
Yep.
Their bullpen's the best in the majors since May the 1st. So I think this is a hell of a team. But, Kevin, with all due respect to you, my friend, just because the Cubs are 500-ish over the last 17, 18 games, so what? It happens to every team.
Oh, for sure.
Even the great teams, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that reveals some kind of vulnerability or anything. Not at all.
Not necessarily. Just that they're not playing at the peak of their game at the moment. And, if they're – because look, the fact that we've seen the Cardinals go through what they've just gone through. Now, they turned it around the last 6 days. They've won 5 of their last 6, so that changes it quite a bit. But, they're only 4.5 up on you with all of the things that you've had go wrong, too. When you look at the division, nobody's really had much go right. A lot of the teams have had, like, Hunter Green's been out a lot for the Reds with hamstring or actually a groin injury. Cardinals have had their guys in and out or up and down. Same thing with the Brewers, who they've lost some starters, and Woodruff's not close. And it's been an interesting year in that way.
The two teams in Major League Baseball that have been least impacted by injuries are the Cardinals and the Phillies. I mean, the Cardinals have lost Herrera now for a second time. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But the carnage related to injuries in St. Louis is nothing like it's been in Chicago or Milwaukee or even Cincinnati. The Cardinals have been very, very fortunate not to have a lot of injuries. They've had one pitching injury, and that was Zach Thompson, and that's a guy that was not in their plans for the big club anyway.
You know, a lot of the Cardinals rivalries have had a lot to do with the local media. Let me see if I can get this thing started. Dansby Swanson is a stupid name.
Kinda.
Just putting it out there.
He just
kinda.
Doesn't Dansby Swanson have the best sweet tea?
Sounds like he should have a.
That sounds like it'd be a good place, you know, somewhere down there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
For where you go get some good, chicken fried steak.
Get some.
I'm going up to I'm going up to Dansby's. I'm going to Dansby's. I'll tell you, man, they got the best chicken fried steak anywhere in the South.
Who's got the best pecan pie? Dansby Swanson.
Doesn't it sound like he should be like the heir to the Swanson frozen food empire? It's
Maybe he
Dansby
is,
Swanson.
Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe the joke's on us.
Fun fact: I saw him play in college.
Did you really?
Yeah, right after he was taken #1 in the draft at a regional. At Vanderbilt. It was pretty fun.
Was he just amazing?
Not that. I mean, it was a loaded field. I mean, it was a field with, two top teams, but he was pretty damn good. Yeah.
Were you guys into the College World Series this weekend?
I watched, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I liked it. I mean, I thought it was great stuff. It's a shame the manager, the coach got thrown out. I thought it was a bit much.
Yeah. I think it's,
when they're facing elimination, come on, man, you got to give the guys some runway.
Totally agree. And I think it's an interesting dynamic, right? So in the first game, game 1 for LSU, Cade Anderson was their starting pitcher. Pre-game, their coach Jay Johnson said, "Look, he's rested, so he's good for 125, 130 pitches today." And damn it, if he didn't throw 130 pitches in a complete game, complete game shutout, by the way.
Yeah.
So he was earning it. I find all of this thing to be interesting, Bern, because it ties into like Major League Baseball's push to try to figure out how to keep guys' arms healthy and all of that. And what's going to happen to Cade Anderson is he's going to go from pitching in college and throwing 120, 125, 130 times a game, and they'll probably stick him in the minors where he's going to throw 75 pitches a game and throw 4.5 innings. And then when he gets to the big leagues, everybody's going to wonder why he can't throw 6 or 7 innings again.
Well, maybe.
It's a fascinating thing because nobody has found an answer, right? Like college pitchers have been throwing like that since the 1970s and 80s, if not before that. I mean, my guys that I played with were throwing 125, 130.
And how many of them never even had a career because they blew out their arms?
100%, right. But the point is that's not the change. That's been a standard. It's been staying that way, yet the injuries keep going up. And I don't know there's a good answer other than
velocity.
Other than don't throw hard, but throwing hard works, so you got to do it.
The velo's everything.
Yeah.
That's when there was a dramatic spike in injuries began.
Yep.
When it seemed like everybody was throwing 98 or 99.
100%.
And you break. The elbow and the arm's not built to do that.
We were talking about this today, and I was talking about it with our boss, Steve. Like, when you're talking about why there are more injuries and things now, think about it. None of the things that we do athletically are things that we're built to do.
Huh.
We're not built to throw overhand 130 times as hard as we can in 3 hours. We're not built to jump 40 times in 10 minutes. We're not built to run into each other over and over and over and over again. We're not built that way. We're built to do other things. So whenever you're doing things that are not what you're built for, at some point you're going to break down.
Yeah, and especially with the way all these different sports have changed too.
Yeah.
And the irony is the sports medicine's better than it's ever been.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I think athletically, we as a culture, whatever, we kind of pushed the limits a long time ago, and we keep pushing the limits,
So, Bern, I'm going to let you spread the word over at STL Sports Central, but I just got picked up by the Bud Light men's baseball team.
You did what were you like that guy? Who's that guy the Cardinals brought up from Memphis?
I don't know.
What was his name?
Vilade?
Yeah.
Ryan Vilade.
Yes, I am Ryan Vilade.
Yeah, you're Ryan Vilade. Okay. I hope you do better than he did.
I bet you I don't go 0 for 32 at least. So.
Ryan Vilade. I mean, welcome to the RVS, the Ryan Valade Show here on KMOX. That's awesome. What are you going to do? What's your role going to be? You going to pitch? You going to play the field?
Infield, and I can catch and pitch if it's in a pinch. But yeah, I was talking to Mike from my team, and he said, believe it or not, because it's a 16-over team, he said, believe it or not, our best pitcher, who's one of the best pitchers in the league, is 75. And he still throws. He can throw all this junk, and so.
Just listen, man. Be like Pozo. If they bring you off the bench to hit, man, he gets hits when he comes off the bench. He really does. Be like Pozo.
Crazy.
You be
swing it.
Yeah, swing it.
You're gonna have to keep us updated on your stats.
I need to have you. I need to have you out to a game where that'll freak everybody out. Like Bernie Nicholas is in the stands.
I'm gonna go.
We'll do it.
I'm gonna go out there with my radar gun. Sit there.
He's nipping at 60, boys.
Me and Wheels will come out there to raise a little hell. That'd be fun.
Tell us all about Saliga, my friend.
I'd be happy to do it. I love Saliga Heating and Cooling. It's a Daikin comfort dealer. Been taking care of St. Louis since the same Saliga family, 4 generations of them. Taking care of the St. Louis families, generations of them since 1927. Nearly 100 years in business serving this community. I love that, because I come from a family that started a business and it lasted through the generations as well. Guys, I know what that's like when you have your name on the business, you have your name on the van, you have your name on the big sign outside. It does mean a lot more because, man, it's like your family name and rep is on the line. And so that's why I have a special affinity for Saliga Heating and Cooling. But it's not just because of that. But I know that foundation really means something because I lived through that with my family. But they're just great at what they do. We've been calling Saliga for 16, 17 years, and we've come to know some things that are absolute in terms of truth about Saliga. They set the standard for honesty, knowledge, professionalism, prompt service. They'll also work with you to find cheaper solutions to your problems rather than trying to sell you the most expensive repair job or piece of equipment. They go out of their way to see if they can save you money. And you never have to worry about that. You never have to worry about being pestered. Oh, you got to buy this. Oh, you should do that. No, they don't. They want to work with you. You know why? It makes sense. They've got a great family business that's been going on since 1927, and they want to uphold the rep of that business. They want to make sure that their reputation is being honest and somebody you can trust is going to continue to carry on through the generations. So they're motivated to be great when they work with you, and that's what we have found. One other thing, the Priority Club is a maintenance plan that's going to save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. Plus, you get some other perks, including priority scheduling. And listen, Saliga is the best, absolutely the best. And this Daikin comfort dealer will take great care of you. You call them at 314-481-7333 or for more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're part of it. Expert care and genuine support backed by a network that puts your health first. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring.
So divorce, sadly, is a part of life. Been there, done that myself. Handled a couple hundred of them when I was an attorney, mostly non-contested divorces. Never did anything like what Susan L. Ward does. She does lots of famous people and lots of rich people and lots of normal people. So she's no respecter of person. You don't need to have $1 million at stake, or it doesn't need to be a $30,000 divorce. If you're just a normal couple and you're trying to work it out together and trying to keep things cordial and not get into a fight for your sake, for the kid's sake, for the sake of the bank account, she's great at that. If someone is pushing you, perhaps physically, emotionally, financially with the kids, and you need someone to fight for you, trust me on this, having known Susan for 30 years now. There's no one tougher and better. There's no one is nearly as fierce of a protector as Susan L. Ward. If you give her a call at 314-783-9400 or reach out at stlfamilylaw.com, let them know that you're from the show and she'll give you a free consultation.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Just can't get away from it. Today is National Hydration Day.
Hydrate yourself.
A startup that helps people use AI to, quote, cheat on everything in life has raised another $15 million. There's a startup called Cluely, like the word clue, Cluely, which openly boasts that it can help everyone cheat on everything, and it's raising a ton of money. Its purpose is to help people cheat on exams, interviews, dating, and their job. Two founders who were kicked out of Columbia University for creating a tool called Interview Coder that helped engineers cheat on technical interviews. Wow.
Yeah, just what we want. We want engineers that don't know stuff getting jobs.
Telling you, just the reports from the girl at KU, like everyone's just cheating on everything. We're going to have a whole generation that just didn't learn the material. I just never thought it was like an option, you know, like.
I mean, it's always been an option, but not if you want to have the job that you want.
Yeah.
Like you can always say, I don't want to know that. Well, then you got to go do something else.
Yeah, it's never been like a very mainstream option.
Yeah.
That can work in every industry and class.
Well, yeah, like it was an option like, oh, I guess I could cheat on this test I haven't studied for, but I can't cheat my way through my major because then I won't understand it.
Right, and then you won't get jobs.
Right. And if I do, I won't know how to do them.
Right, and then you'll get fired.
And why would you want to spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on an education that you didn't receive? Like you are cheating yourself at that point. Like beyond cheating the system and cheating the interview and all this stuff, you are cheating yourself.
Yeah.
You're being really stupid.
But it is fun. College is fun.
Yeah. Nick Cannon was asked to name all of his 12 children, and he couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. He didn't seem like, from all the interviews and stuff that I've seen, he does not seem like the most involved father in the world. And the choices he's making seem to indicate that this would be something that happened if you were asked to name all 12 of the kids or 13, however many.
He got to number 10 and said, I got to be honest, I'm blanking on the last two. Yikes.
Dad of the year.
That is going to leave a mark if you're one of those two. Your dad literally didn't remember you.
Yeah, and that's not a great indicator that he's like spending a lot of time
with the other ones whose name you remembered.
Yeah. That's not a good situation.
Then there's a billionaire who started Telegram, and he has like $100 million, something like that, and 100 kids. He's fathered 100 kids.
This, yeah.
And he's like, it's no big deal. I'm going to split up. They're all going to get $1 billion.
Well, you know, that totally replaces never spending time with them.
It might.
Andrew's like, I'll take that deal.
Daddy.
Be convinced.
Tell you guys about Michael's Baths, and I never want to start this out like you're so lucky that you know me because I know Mike, but it is pretty fortuitous that if you have been thinking about doing a bathroom, and I'm making these numbers up, but let's say it was going to be $12,000-$13,000. And that's just $5,000-$6,000 more than you really had budgeted. Well, Mike comes in about 30 to 50% less than the national companies. So that kind of gets you where you want to be. Or let's say you do have that much money. It will allow you to do 30 to 50% more stuff. So maybe you were just going to replace a shower or a tub, but now that you know Mike is so much less expensive, you can do a whole bathroom remodel. He's offering extra incentives during this time of tariff uncertainty, $500 off any shower or tub replacement, $1,000 off a full bathroom remodel. If you are a disabled veteran, you get a whole bathroom for no money out of your pocket because you have earned a VA benefit. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, we fight for you, making sure big insurance doesn't throw you a curveball. With over $25 billion recovered, we're the home run hitters you need.
This is way out there and gone.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it comes to DSPs, usability matters. Some platforms bury you in complexity. Results-driven advertising shouldn't look like a chemistry experiment. Viant's AI-powered DSP streamlines setup, automates measurement and optimization, and keeps you in control. Less clicking, more strategy. And with proven CTV leadership across premium publishers, Viant works smarter and delivers stronger. Why are you still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-291-3143. 800-291-3143.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got sunshine right now, 94 degrees downtown at the Arch. The news is sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. We'll learn within the hour the board members who'll be making decisions for St. Louis Police under state control. KMOX's Sean Malone is live where the governor is set to reveal the names in about a half an hour. Sean?
Yeah, Michael, I'm outside St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department headquarters where, just as you said, the 5 members that will sit on the board of police commissioners to oversee the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department are about to be named in half an hour from now. Now, these board members will join the only board member that we know of at this point so far, as Tara Spencer. And we'll see how well they get along moving forward. But what I'm curious to see beyond just the names that are named here is their opinion on how to shake things up when it comes to the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, particularly their position on Chief Robert Tracy and appointee of former Mayor Tashara Jones. For what it's worth, Chief Tracy will be a part of the press conference that's coming up in about 30 minutes. Outside SLMPD headquarters, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
CBS News special report. Iran's supreme leader posts on X, "We didn't harm anyone, and we will not accept any harassment from anyone under any circumstances." It comes after Iran launched a missile attack on a U.S. base in Qatar. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata.
This is not only one of the biggest bases, but it's also one of the best defended. So it might be symbolic that the Iranians are saying, look, we're going to hit you right where you live, right at your central command headquarters in the Middle East.
CBS's Olivia Gazis.
If this is as contained as it has been, if it is the case that there are no U.S. casualties, it is an important indication that Iran has done what it needs to do in order to save face, and that is reopening the door to a diplomatic solution.
Or, says CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland.
Or it goes the other direction, and it goes vertical, in which case you could see an expanded level of violence, more attacks against U.S. bases in the region, perhaps directly or indirectly drawing in other countries.
CBS News special report. I'm Matt Piper.
Could an Iranian strike happen in the U.S.?
It could be one of those lone wolf type of attacks, or maybe just a couple of small groups.
Security consultant and former St. Louis County Police Chief Tim Fitch tells KMOX he expects something to happen, but he thinks it'd be targeted at the government, like a courthouse or military recruiting office.
Do I think that they're going to go after, like something like locally, like Metrolink or something like that? No, probably not. Could they? Sure, they could, but it's unlikely. This is going to be more federal government targeted attacks.
Fitch is telling people to still go out and live life, but always have safety in the back of your mind, a threat from Iran or not. An expansion of the Brick Line Greenway is underway, connecting Tower Grove Park to the rest of the line. Mayor Kara Spencer, an avid biker herself, says this not only makes the city safer to bike and walk, but can also provide an economic boost.
The economic benefits of this type of infrastructure go beyond just beautification and pedestrian and bike friendliness, but they are critical assets to contribute to an improved quality of life for our residents.
Sad news for workers at St. Luke's Hospital in De Pere. They got word today that the hospital will be closing its doors come August 1st.
In a news release, St. Luke's officials say despite the dedication and hard work of all their team members, the hospital has faced persistently low utilization and increasing financial pressures, and its operation as an acute care facility no longer was viable. According to St. Luke's, they will discontinue all hospital services at the De Pere location only, beginning August 1st. But St. Luke's Medical Group practices located in the De Pere medical office buildings will remain open and continue to serve the community. It will also continue to provide care at St. Luke's Hospital in Chesterfield and its more than 30 outpatient centers, including its De Pere urgent care site. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
The Nordstrom at the St. Louis Galleria is closing. Last day to shop is August 24th. The department store chain tells KMOX in a statement, quote, "We believe we'll best be able to serve customers in the area by leveraging our surrounding stores and through our digital channels." Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now with Stifel's Scott Link. Scott.
Good afternoon, Michael. After a limited response from Iran to the U.S. airstrike and growing expectations for a Fed rate cut in July led markets higher to start the week, with the Dow Jones surging 374 points to 42,581. The S&P 500 rose 57 to 6,025. The Nasdaq was up 183 to 19,630. And the Bloomberg St. Louis Index rose 23 points to 1,563. For stocks local interest, the biggest gainers today were Esco Technologies, up $7.81 to $189.26. And Edgewell Personal Care rose 84 cents to $24.07. And the leading decliners were Centene off $1 to $53.40. And Build-A-Bear Workshop dropped 62 cents to $52.23. Finally, Stifel Financial rose $1.75 to $99.13. This has been Scott Link, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC, New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a crash on 70 westbound at Lucas and Hunt, and that's got the left two lanes closed there. Stalled vehicle 70 west at Riverview on the right shoulder. 270 south at Tesson Ferry. That's also got the right shoulder blocked there.
It's nothing but the early beast of summer. It's going to continue on this Monday afternoon. All about sunshine. It's hot. It's humid. The high should peak at about 98 degrees. The heat index peaking about 105. Slow down. Take it easy. Mostly clear skies tonight. It's warm. It's humid. 78. On Tuesday, sunny, hot, and humid. But I'm going to keep the idea of a pop thunderstorm in the afternoon. 95 degrees for the high on Tuesday. Wednesday, sunny, hot, and humid. And again, 95. We are now in the longest days of summer. Slow down again. Take it easy. Lots of water. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Anderson Hospital. Right now, we've got sunshine. It's 94, but the feels like is 97 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Serving the Metro East region with excellence, Anderson Hospital is proud to be named one of Newsweek's World's Best Hospitals for 2025. Experience world-class care close to home. AndersonHospital.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Monday to you. You know how I write things down and I don't remember why?
Yeah.
On my show sheet last night, I've written down, do me. Just do me. And then I realized what it is.
Dome.
Dome.
Yep.
Dome, yeah.
Because Wheeler pulled a Dave Murray the other day on Andrew and said he wasn't a real man.
I didn't say that. I implied it.
You implied
You
it.
did imply it. You did imply it. Because you dared to say that the $1 billion college industry couldn't afford a stupid tarp for their stupid
a dome.
Crappy baseball stadiums.
Yeah, baseball gets no money, bro. Not compared to football.
I said, are there no domes that you could play at when it's super hot out?
When you're
Kevin
in
was
college.
like,
No.
No. I think no.
No.
It was a lot more fun than that.
You would have the same reaction if I asked the same caliber of question about Magic the Gathering.
Well, he had asked about your team.
Yeah,
I'm welcoming, and I want people to have a good time. I wouldn't talk to people like that, Kevin.
You asked me if our 14-year-old team has a dome we can play in.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it was funny. You see any domes around St. Louis?
You just took us to a big, giant indoor space full of baseball crap.
Yeah. It's pretty big, too, but can't play games in there.
He goes, you would never play a game inside. I go, how am I supposed to know that?
No, you can't. They don't exist.
I like that Andrew's defense is just, I'm nice and you're mean.
Yeah, I'm nice. I don't speak to people in that fashion.
Sure you do.
I had a dome-type situation that I actually took off the show sheet because it was so stupid.
No, let's hear it.
I was watching Shark Tank yesterday, and I was like, DGS Shark Tank, there's something there.
Oh, yeah.
So I wrote it down on the Google Doc, and today I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I actually don't think there's anything there. I don't know how that would work at all. I'm just going to erase that.
That would actually be, we should keep track of those, and maybe once a week on Fridays or something.
Yeah,
that would be a fun segment.
Pull one off the pile.
The cutting room floor.
Yeah, because all of us, for me, it's the Notes app. My Notes app on my phone, whenever I think of something for the show, over the weekend, I whip it out and I type it out real quick. And then later you look at them and you go, why? Mm-hmm. Whether it's something that you just you're like, what did I even mean? Or you're like, why would I think this would be interesting to say?
I had one of those. Again, in a conversation with our friend Trish Gazelle over the weekend, I said, do you remember when you found out that Olivia Newton-John was gay? And she goes, Olivia Newton-John's not gay. And I'm like, no, Olivia Newton-John from Grease. And she goes, yeah, she's been married a couple times. I'm like, yeah, well, you can get married and be gay. And she's like, I said, look it up. She's like, you look it up. You're the one saying stupid crap. So I looked it up, and the very first thing was, no. Olivia Newton-John is not gay.
Not gay.
She's a gay icon. She's an ally to the LGBTQ community. She's not gay.
She's also no longer with us.
Right. I've been living my whole life thinking she was gay. I pointed out because you can be wrong.
No, she's just a gay icon.
Just a gay icon.
And deceased.
Yes. So there you go. We all got stupid thoughts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But usually when
Kevin.
Usually when we do put them out there, we are told they are stupid.
Well, when you're around, yes.
No, Trish got you.
You and Trish.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, that is not the person you want on your side if you're trying to play the I'm not mean card.
No, that's exactly the person I want on my
Two
side.
biggest caller outers I've ever known in my life. In my life at the same time.
The two meanest human beings on earth.
Because that's what people do to us.
14-year-olds don't play in a dome, bro.
Bro. You might as well ask if we fly a spaceship to our next game.
Oh, maybe.
So I understand you got a bad I'm not talking to you?
Yeah, all right. So I was at the gas station this morning. I was going and getting my beverages, my various beverages, and I was hydrating for the hot day. Getting some good hydration snacks, mini muffins.
Sure.
Little Debbie's chocolate chip mini muffins.
Soak up that sweat.
Yeah, they help you retain the hydration.
Yes.
And so me and the employee, me and the guy.
Like a greasy muffin on 105 degrees day.
Sloshing around in your tongue.
The muffins.
It says hot weather like heavy food.
The muffins have a cooling effect when combined with the Mountain Dew that is so heavily dyed that my teeth and tongue are blue.
Let me ask you this. What's the heaviest food you have in this place? I don't know. Probably those blueberry muffins.
Pizza and donuts.
Probably those little Debbie's chocolate chip muffins over there.
Why don't you give me a handle of those?
And so I'm at the fountain, and I'm getting my nuclear Mountain Dew, and I have kind of a rapport. I've gotten a rapport with the guy that works there.
You like.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. He likes me. I'm a good customer. I come in every day. You know, we always say like, "Hey, good to see you, bro. Have a good day." You know, the basic stuff. And so he comes over and he's using the tap, and the thing is broken. There's no carbonation. There's no water. It's all syrup. It's for like some sort of a vitamin water thing or something on the tap. And he's like, of course, like that's the one that I wanted. And so he
No, wait, is this a worker or a fellow?
He's an employee.
Okay.
He works there. And so I think he was just
free
going to get
sodas.
I think he was going to get something to drink.
Okay.
And so he goes up to the counter and I guess I hear him talking to like other people who work there, but I wasn't really listening that closely. And then he comes walking over near where I am and he goes, "All right, I'm going to run to the back. I'm going to change this out. I'm going to swap this and get it working right." And I say, "All right, brother, you got it. Sounds good."
My man.
My man, you go fix that. Sounds great, man.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What?" And I said, no, I was, because by then I realized, he was obviously talking to the like 3 other people that are working there. And I was like, and yeah, nothing. Good. I'll see you tomorrow.
No, that's not that bad.
That's not terrible.
No, it's a reasonable
It
mistake.
felt very bad in the moment because it was so obvious that he was not talking to me. And I was like, "Sounds good, man. You go fix that."
Do you
Why
think?
would he have been saying that to me?
Are you gonna like avoid him now?
No, I'm not going to avoid him because I don't think he really noticed that I did it.
I had a few of those though. The guys that are like talking on their phone, their Bluetooth, they'll be like, "Hey," and you're like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh," they just point at their ear. I'm like, "All right, dude, shut up then."
When I was at
It wasn't that aggressive.
when I was at one of my law firms, I was in the One City Center building, which connected by Skyway to the Mercantile building or something like that. Anyway, 2 big high rises with a skywalk in the middle. And my girlfriend worked in one building and I worked in the other. And my roommate, Ricky, would have lunch with my girlfriend at the time quite often. And so I was walking over to see her, and they came walking across the skywalk. Now, my eyes aren't the best. And so I started walking like this.
To be silly.
Like a chicken, and I started doing something like this. Oh, gurble, 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 gurble.
Sure.
It takes me to get within about 12 feet to realize it's neither of them. So the only thing I could think to do was just go for it. And I pretended that I was doing that for someone behind them that they couldn't see.
Yeah.
They're the losers.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. So I got up to them and I'm just like, hey, Marvin. And they're just like, I don't even know.
You can't see my friends. They go to a different school.
Yeah. They're from Canada.
What's the earliest you remember doing something like that? I remember doing something. I think I was maybe 10. And my parents bowled in the league, and I went off and I played video games, and I walked back, and I just put my arms around my mom's neck and gave her a big old hug, and this lady turns and looks at me and goes, oh, hello there. I was like, oh, you're not my mom. You just have the same hair as my mom.
I remember I've told this before, but it just so stands out to me. My dad and Bill Clockengay playing cards and just having fun, and they're just like busting on each other, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And I'm probably 7. So I walk up to the kitchen table and I'm rubbing my finger on it just over and over again. And when there's a lull in their conversation, I go, I wonder how long I'd have to do this until it just went all the way through. And there's like a pause and Bill Clockengay goes, I think you'd S your pants way before then.
That's wisdom
and
right
then
there.
they both just like started like high-fiving.
That's good.
And I'm like, oh, God.
He got a sick burn in.
He burned me
And
bad.
he was also correct.
Yes.
Today, I was just in kind of a silly, goofy mood, so I was like shimmy dancing my way into my office space, and I didn't realize that Amy was in there too. So I'm like dancing my way to my desk, and then when I caught that she was there and looking at me, I had to pretend like I was doing it on purpose.
Yeah, like this is
Like
the
I was-
Amy
Look
at
dance,
me.
actually.
I was performing
I was
for
doing
a
that
purpose.
for you, Amy.
And definitely not just because I wanted to walk in a silly way to my desk.
Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. They are always a great company. They have a great product. They only focus on the windows, the people who make the windows, and the people who install the windows. They don't focus on the ownership. They don't try to do SNL skits. They don't try crazy deals where, like, oh, 2 people are going to get this deal and I'm going to get screwed. They are having their home improvement sale right now, and they're giving you the choice. You can get payments as low as $99 a month, or you can get payments and no interest at all for an entire year, which gives you a full year to enjoy the comfort, savings, and curb appeal before you ever have to make a payment. Locally, give them a call at 314-334-2522, or if interested, go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
Let's be honest, you've been portrayed as a monster. Yes. Evil, maniacal.
What's it like to interview a killer? 48 Hours is taking you inside what we've learned about the criminal mind. This is Killer Conversation. You can follow and listen to Killer Conversation on Tuesdays in the 48 Hours podcast feed on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Matt, your Leaf Filter Trusted Pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This is National Cancer Survivor Awareness Month, and we are joined by Dr. Lindsay Peterson.
And the program at Siteman Cancer Center is always evolving to address the needs of all of our patients. And so we want to know, what patients need, what we can do for them, and we want to make sure that we're providing those different resources for them.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Spring into a new home with amazing savings at TR Hughes. Hi, I'm Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
KMOX is now on 104.1 FM, the same great station with even better sound.
Welcome back, DGS 321, 104.1 FM KMOX. You can also listen to us at 11:20 a.m. You can listen to us on the Odyssey app. You can podcast us. Coming up in a few minutes, we have Dave Murray. Then coming up at 4 p.m., we have a Sweet 16 we've never done, the Sweet 16 of beach scenes from movies and television. And there are a lot of really great ones if you think about it.
Are we?
Yes.
I might have some questions about like points of parliamentary procedure as far as what constitutes a beach scene.
Sand,
like
water.
You're just at the beach. It doesn't have to be like a
no
beach blanket bingo kind of thing.
The beach doesn't have to talk. It's fine.
No.
Okay.
I have an example for you. Jaws.
Right. Yeah. There's
Not
a beach
lot of
scene.
fun going on.
No, but there's a beach scene.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
But that's I got you.
There you go. You want to do a Stairway to Kevin?
Sure. What do you guys think? I got one I wanted to bring up to you guys.
I love that. He does that every time.
I usually want to give you guys a choice between serious and not, but then today I decided not to give you that choice.
Okay.
All right, so I saw a question the other day related to sports, but it doesn't have to be about sports. We can make it about anything we want. Is there any event, huge concert, big entertainment thing like Star Wars blowing up, big worldwide story that you wish social media would have been around for? Because there was a great story. The poll I saw was like 10 great examples of sports events that people wish there were, like the Miracle on Ice. People wish there was social media for that because that would have just been amazing with everybody doing it.
Yeah.
Is there something? It can be sports if you want, but I mean, it could be last episode of MASH. Could be any kind of cool thing. Is there a thing you're like, man, that would have been even cooler or even worse?
I can
maybe.
tell you the first thing that popped to my mind was the OJ trial.
Oh my God! Yeah. Yeah, because the one that I went to as well was 9/11, which is the opposite, right? It's not fun, but man, if Twitter existed in 2001, that would have been insane. Like over the top. Well, of course, information would have spread faster, right? You wouldn't have been sitting around not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Although bad information would have spread too. Anything else make the come out on the radar as big like that? Like, man, if everybody had been able to gather in one place to talk about that thing like we do now for everything would have been cool.
Man, the thing that's popping into my head is Woodstock because
oh my God, yeah.
I guess I have a tendency to kind of not believe people about Woodstock. I mean, I wasn't
how
there.
Cool it was,
I wasn't.
or
Yeah, like people
how
are just
big
like, it was incredible, and everyone was getting along the whole time. And I'm like, is that true? Like, did that really happen?
I think you
don't
also
know.
saw Woodstock 99, which unfortunately was the opposite of all of that. I would have loved to have it around when I was thinking about like, the Miracle on Ice would have been a great one just because it was a whole national thing, right? Like it was more than just sports. It was such a huge event. But then kind of the 80s had a lot of those types of things, right? Where there's like because of the nature of entertainment, everything was kind of national.
Think if we would have had all of this when Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, that's a great.
Because it was already a really big story.
No, you're right.
And we didn't even have Facebook.
Could you I mean, you had nothing close to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you maybe had message boards. Probably had message boards, but they would be scattered and they wouldn't be
very rudimentary.
Fascinating. I wish it would have been something like that for like the early days of The Sopranos too. Like, because that predated Twitter and all of that stuff. Like, that would have been a lot of fun. Because everybody was, again, it's. I think that's the thing, right? What you're looking for is that, because in sports, the reason why it was a great sports list is because we all watch, right?
Yeah.
We all watch the NBA Finals. We all watch the Super Bowl. So you have this shared thing already, and you can add to it.
What do you not have? Do you have Me Too if you don't have social media?
No, because I mean, it started as a hashtag.
Yeah, no, I don't think you do at all. But you also don't have an easy way to tell for people to participate in it.
Tell
like
stories.
Writing letters to the editor is not going to have the same impact, right? Posting in a chat board is not going to have the same impact as something that's trending and everybody's seeing it in real time. That definitely would not have happened.
You don't have January 6th.
Probably, you definitely don't have the spread of
Stop the Steal.
Yeah, all that stuff. Again, you if you had it, it would be like somebody's sending newsletters around.
Is it neutral?
I think the tool is clearly neutral, right? Because if it can make things 10 times better or 10 times worse, then that thing is not inherently good or bad.
Although we do, and I'm talking out of my ass now, but it certainly seems supportable, that we do tend to go toward the negative and the trauma, and as opposed to like, oh, wow, we beat Canada.
Well, that seems like an us thing, though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, you could, I mean,
it's just a microphone.
This is a probably a terrible analogy. So if it's terrible, just tell me. But it's not that much different than handgun, right? In the sense that it's all about who's holding it and what they're doing with it. Like, it can be the worst thing in the world. You could use it to murder somebody. It can also be the thing that you can save yourself with. Like, depending, again, it's all about how it's being used and the way that it's being deployed. And social media is kind of, I mean, I think people have used that analogy that social media is essentially a loaded weapon. And it's just a matter of where you point it, who you point it at, and how you're going to use it.
A rivalry renewed.
A swing and a long one. Home run, Paul DeYoung. Left center field. Back-to-back jack. The Cardinals have taken the lead in the ninth. Craig Kimbrell is serving up batting practice.
Cards, Cubs, tonight. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
Quiver River Electric Cooperative reminds you to always assume that a downline is energized and dangerous. Avoid going near it or anything in contact with the power line. Never drive over a down line or through water touching the line. Notify the local authorities immediately if you see a down line. To learn more, call us at 1-800-392-3709 or visit safeelectricity.org. A safety message from Quiver River Electric Cooperative.
Tell you guys about Dr. Corey Solman. So when my mom fell and broke her hip, obviously, Dr. Solman was the first doctor that we called, but she was taken to MOBAP, and Corey didn't have privileges there, so he's like, here's the doctor you wanted, MOBAP. It's great. My point is, it's great to be taken care of. It's great to know people when you need something. So now through me, you have an orthopedic surgeon. Hopefully, you don't ever need to meet Corey professionally. But if your little soccer player goes down and is crying and swollen knee, or if you have a car accident, a slip and fall, any, like with my mom, an older person falls and hurts their hip, just know that he is one of the best orthopedic surgeons in the entire country. And then I will vouch for him as a person, as a human. He's just very easy to talk to, very charming, very outside the box great bedside manner, going to make you, your kids, or your elderly loved ones feel very comfortable. 636-231-5881, or just remember Solman, S-O-L-M-A-N, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we got troubles out in St. Charles County already this afternoon. First of all, if you're heading home on Highway 70, westbound 70, just a little busy at the city limits. And it looks okay to get out right around 61, but it bogs down there just west of A through 61 and Z. They're looking at an eastbound crash there. It's eastbound 70. Just before you get to Z, the right lane's blocked. Only the left lane is open. Traffic's jammed almost all the way back to Fort Snell on eastbound 70. Westbound 64 is on the brakes. Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker. It's slow to Big Bend. It's slow right at Ballast to 270. A little slow down at the Boone Bridge. And then it's jammed at Lake St. Louis Boulevard. There's a crash involving a motorcyclist with the left lane closed. Westbound 64 at Prospect. So like I said, troubles in St. Charles County. South 270 south of Page to Manchester slow. A little busy at Doherty Ferry 44 midway down to Gravois. Westbound 44, the right lane slow around Geyer. South 170 bogs down at Ladue. Southbound 55 Gasconade Bates a little busy. Looks okay down in Jefferson County. And of course the roadwork jam eastbound 5570 east of 111 up to 255. You have to go that way because it's closed still until next Monday between 157 and 159. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands. Because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody, it's our favorite song. Hey, Cardinal fans, hydrate like a champ. Head to the ballpark Saturday, July 12th as the Cardinals take on the Braves. That day, 20,000 fans 16 and older score a City Connect tumbler courtesy of Coca-Cola and Quick Trip. Stay cool and sip in style all summer long with this 30-ounce stainless steel tumbler. Don't miss out on this fan-favorite giveaway. Grab your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Gorman, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Time to talk to Dave Murray. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
So,
hot enough for you?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I know they're talking about, like, an advisory through Wednesday, but then it looks like the temperature goes up on Thursday, so I'm a little confused.
Yeah, building heat is what keeps an advisory going.
Okay.
And because the city, in particular, the urban heat island, doesn't cool off that much at night, it heats up very quickly during the day. So that's one of the reasons the advisory kind of continues. And the advisory only goes out to a certain point, and it gets either dropped or extended. But it's a big bubble, a big dome of high pressure, summer high pressure. They're very tough to move out. I kind of picture them like a balloon. If you push a little bit, at one side, you make a little indentation into that balloon, and that's what will happen tomorrow and Wednesday. A cool front will try to get in, never moves the high, but it puts a little dent in it. And that's why I've continued to talk about a pop thunderstorm. Afternoon, probably after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's Tuesday and Wednesday. All these things do, and they're very, very isolated. Most of us will not see anything. They bring a brief cool down in temperature, probably by 10 degrees, but it creates a tremendous bump up in the humidity, and then the temperature responds very quickly once the rain is gone. It's just rain cooled air. So we're talking 95 tomorrow, and I'm going just slightly cooler than today. We're 96 right now. We'll probably hit 97, 98, but 95 tomorrow. That's because of the possibility of a pop-up thunderstorm. There should be a few more cumulus clouds around. The record is 102. That's safe from 1988. Then Wednesday, exactly the same story, 95. The record on Wednesday is 103 from last year, 2024. And then Thursday, there's not much pushing or trying to squish that high pressure. So the temperature comes back a little bit. It's sunny, hot, and humid Thursday, probably into Friday too, 97 each day. Heat index is 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, about 105 degrees. Icky.
Dave, it seems like we're having kind of weird weather for June in that the first part of June was unusually temperate, it seemed to me. And
yes, kind of delightful other than rain. Yeah. A lot of rain, a lot of thunderstorm activity.
Yeah.
But the temperatures, this is, just summer trying to make a comeback. Is it unusual? It's the 23rd of June. Not really, as far as this kind of heat wave that gets developed over the eastern 2/3 of the nation. I don't find it out of the ordinary. When we're looking at 95 to 99 degrees the next couple of days, and the records are about 102, 103. We've been there before.
And normal's what, mid-80s?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Don't think about normals anymore.
No kidding.
It's
no
painful.
Kidding.
Dave Murray's forecast was sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm, and Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. This is an awesome story. A man named Vinton Smith has completed his mission to donate blood in all 50 U.S. states.
Jeez, man.
Hawaii was his 50th state on June 14th. He's donated a total of 184 times. That amounts to more than 17.5 gallons of blood, platelets, and plasma.
That's going to make me pass out.
His goal is
I knew you were going to do it, too.
Well, Dave, his goal is to inspire others to donate blood and help them understand the impact of saving lives through blood donations.
Yeah, I will never do it now because now I'm picturing gallon containers of blood.
We're going to keep you hooked up here for about 4 or 5 hours.
No kidding.
Well, good job to Vinton.
Yeah, nicely done.
That's neat.
Tesla has launched robo-taxis in Austin, Texas. The event marks the first time Tesla cars without human drivers carried paying riders. This is a crucial step for Tesla's financial future. The trial involved about 10 vehicles with front seat riders acting as safety monitors. So that would make me feel better if I were in the back of a driverless car, but then there was someone sitting next to the steering wheel. I would feel better about that than what was it called out in LA that you used,
Waymo.
Andrew?
Waymo.
Yeah.
And there was just nobody up there.
Do you guys think
there's nobody up there at all?
Crazy.
That Tesla has been irreparably damaged, the brand?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Sure seems like it.
I feel like it was irreparably damaged whenever he smoked weed on Joe Rogan's podcast 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's just been kind of a steady... He loves chipping away at that brand.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still doing fine. I just think the public perception of it will never be like, oh, wow, Tesla. It's like,
I think you'd have to be a special person to buy a Cybertruck these days.
Yeah. There'd have to be a lot going on. A lot of factors
Special.
at work.
Interesting word, special.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. Like, you got to want the smoke.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're making a statement at this point.
Yeah.
Former White House physician Dr. Kevin O'Connor has agreed to appear for a transcribed interview before the House Oversight Committee on July 9th. Following a subpoena, the committee is investigating President Joe Biden's alleged cognitive decline and his use of an auto pen for official government business. Everybody strap in. I have a feeling we're going to be on this ride for a while.
If you were queen, would you say, we don't need to know about this, let it go? Or would you say, let's find out everything we can?
I would like to know what was going on. I think the American people deserve to know. I hope the answer is everything was just fine. This is being blown out of proportion. But no, I don't think if the president was experiencing significant cognitive decline and people were covering it up, we deserve to know that no matter who that president was.
Yeah. And who was running the country.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Who
mean,
was
that's
really
a question
doing the
that
heavy
I would
lifting.
like to
That's
have
right.
answered.
I mean, because they had a lot of those questions at the end of Reagan's second term.
Right.
Who was doing what? Was George H.W. Bush running things? All that. I mean, that stuff should not be kept from us.
And it shouldn't be political. If
No.
you have
No.
some sort of interest in keeping that hidden, you should examine yourself. Like,
Yes.
we should know what's going on.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer is celebrating her 25th anniversary.
Wow.
They're actually, Nickelodeon is
right.
celebrating with the feature-length live-action movie Dora and the Search of Sol Dorado. And they're doing a third season of a rebooted animated series just called Dora. There's also a podcast called Dora's Mermaid Adventures, an album of songs, and plenty of toys and apparel.
Swipe or no swiping.
Podcast?
I guess there's a Dora podcast. There's a podcast for everything, Dave.
I guess.
A new Texas law will require the 10 Commandments to be posted in every public school classroom. Governor Greg Abbott announced Saturday that he had signed the bill, which is expected to draw a legal challenge from critics who consider it an unconstitutional violation of the separation of church and state.
Like I said, at the end of the Trump administration, we're going to know a lot more about the Constitution.
This is a genuine question. I would love it if someone had an answer for me. What do you think you are going to accomplish by posting the 10 Commandments in every public school classroom?
It's a great
like,
question.
Are the kids going to act better?
Right,
I don't
no.
understand what
No,
the point
I
is.
think like 95% of things in this life that's performative because it's your paradigm and it's not let's just be very honest with each other. It's not the right to religion. These people aren't fighting for the right to religion. They're fighting to make Christianity the state religion. That's what they're doing. They want kids to be, if it were, the 10 Commandments are going to be right next to the 8 tenets of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's a lot more palatable constitutionally. I wouldn't like to see either one of them. You want to have a survey course on religious books and religion in America? By all means, it's important. It's an important part of life. You want to send your kid to a private school where they study the Bible? Great, good on you. But anytime you have the state favoring a religion, and I don't see how you can argue that putting the 10 Commandments of one religion and not the others is not favoring it. So they're not looking for religious freedom. They're looking to indoctrinate people into Christianity, which is completely against the Constitution. Do I care if people are religious? No. Do I care if you have a Christmas tree in the public square or a menorah? No. Because by the same token of the 95% rule that I just put out there and just chose that randomly, it's also not going to force people to become religious.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a whole bunch of to-do about nothing practically. No kid's going to be putting together a spit wad and read the third commandment and go like, I should probably put this thing away. Like, that's not going to happen.
Did you guys see Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are planning to get married in Venice this week? And activists are planning to disrupt the wedding. They don't like that Bezos is there. They're using up all of the luxury hotels, causing a ton of traffic, just causing a general headache for the people who live there. Not to mention the problems people have with Jeff Bezos outside of all of this. So they're calling it No Space for Bezos. And
I get it.
It'll be kind of interesting to see that play out over the next
Is
couple
there
of days.
anything in the world douchier than renting out Venice for your own wedding? Like there are people who have
going
planned,
to space and coming back in a cowboy hat.
There are people who have planned vacations their entire lives to see Venice, And if they happen to have that on the same time you've rented it out for your wedding, you have screwed them over immensely. Why? How does anybody? How does he think that's okay?
I don't think he cares.
I mean, clearly he doesn't care. Clearly, but God, that's the level of just sheer douchery that everybody should hate. And it's not political. It's nothing else. It's I matter more than everyone else, so I'm going to do what I want because I can sign the check.
If one of us came up with the greatest idea in the world and suddenly had $10 billion, would we necessarily become more douchey? And if so, how much?
I don't think I would, because I don't think I'd lose the part of me that recognizes that there are other human beings around me. And their trips and their actions and their jobs and their lives matter just as much as mine. I think you're a special kind of screwed up if that's where you end up.
I don't know. I think we'd all become worse.
You'd have to change a little bit.
You
I
would.
think.
It's like the Lord of the Rings. Like that ring is going to corrupt whoever comes in contact with it. $1 billion is going to do something to you. You might be able to handle it a little better like a Frodo, or you might go crazy immediately like a Boromir. But I think it's a real thing happening to your brain when you come in contact with that much money.
I think there would be as many people that do it like Warren Buffett as do it like Bezos. Like there are billionaires out there that are not doing those things.
You get your invite, by the way?
To what?
To his wedding.
To the wedding.
He wouldn't like that.
I
joined the protesters.
Speak now.
Join the protesters.
Who's that giant red man walking toward me?
Why does he look so angry?
Thank you, Dave. Tell you guys about First Missouri Credit Union. I was there just this morning. I have a bank, had it for 30 years. I do a lot of my stuff now at First Missouri because it's just more pleasant. It's every bit as convenient. I don't know the exact rules about this, but I know that basically you can go to lots in St. Louis, dozens of credit unions and do your banking, do your credit unioning that you would do at First Missouri. So if there's one that's right down the road from you, but you want to avail yourself of First Missouri and, for example, the 4.27% that we pay on checking accounts up to $100,000, just think about that for a second. 4.27% with zero commitment. You can put $100,000 in your checking account and then something come up the next week and take it all out and put it back in the next month. There's no anything. Like with a certificate of deposit, you're going to pay penalties. You're going to have to wait 6 or 12, 9 months, whatever it is. Not with First Missouri. Call 314-544-5050 or the #1 stmocu.org.
Traffic from the MichaelsFloorandOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report's a service of the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America 4th of July concert. So we still have troubles out in St. Charles County. The one's been cleared. The one crash we had eastbound 70 just before Highway Z has been cleared. Traffic, though, is still jammed from Forestell most of the way to Wentzville Parkway. They are still working the crash westbound 64 out in St. Charles County. First of all, westbound 64 is backed up Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker. And it's on the brakes again west of Winghaven. This crash is in the left lane, westbound 64 at Prospect. It involves a motorcyclist. Southbound 270 south of Page, all the way down through to about Doherty Ferry. Slow after that, not so bad. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates is backed up, but it looks okay in Jefferson County. Downtown on the Illinois side, eastbound 5570 backs up east of 111 up to 255. Of course, 5570 is closed between 157 and 159. 270 eastbound through 157 midway into 159 is heavy as the alternate route. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Celebrate Independence Day with a free concert by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America. July 2nd, 7 p.m. at Logan University in Chesterfield, showcasing patriotic music and more. Get free tickets at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis, June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at kmox.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey in studio with Gloria Liu, broker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and St. Louis's real estate expert. Gloria, while most agents make big promises, you're known for your upfront written guarantees.
My name is My Promise. While many agents promise you an unrealistic sales price just to get your business, I'll provide you with an upfront written guarantee stating if I cannot sell your home for 100% market value, I'll pay you the difference.
Gloria, that's what sets you apart from others and why I recommend you. Folks, why risk working with just any agent when you can work with the best? Gloria Liu guarantees your sale price upfront and in writing.
Absolutely. And if I don't, I will pay you the difference. The agent you choose in this changing market matters and could cost you or make you thousands.
Sell your home with certainty, confidence, and for 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Coming up in the next segment, at the top of the hour, we're going to do the Sweet 16, which we've never done before. Sweet 16 of beach scenes from movies and television. Just looking over my stuff. Everyone just fine.
You got any other words that you thought are two words? Like dome.
Hear me out. DGS Shark Tank. We could make it work.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. We each come up with an adventure.
So are we coming up with the businesses or our listeners?
No, listeners.
And we're bidding on them.
And we're the sharks.
Like, I'll give you
We are the
$1,700 for that idea.
Yes. And I'd be like, I would love to invest $17, 5% of the business.
I'm out.
That's what I can do.
This is more complicated than I thought it was.
I've never seen it.
I love that show.
It's a great show.
Never watched it.
You? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you would
fun.
love it.
Really?
It's good, too, because they
Yes.
get straight into it. There's no, theme song or anything. It's just like, hey, we're pitching to the Sharks.
Yeah, people show up. They give their idea for, this is luggage that rolls itself or whatever. And then the sharks tell them that they're dumb and they have bad ideas. Or they go, this is actually pretty cool.
I don't know. It doesn't sound up my alley. It sounds like too much drama.
I don't think there's a whole lot of drama.
No.
The drama comes in when sometimes people get fussy and the sharks are like, yeah, I just don't think this is a very good idea. And then people get really defensive and they're like, you don't know
Then
what
you're just a
talking about.
dumbhead.
Exactly. That's where the drama comes.
You're going to see in 10 years.
Because you got to
I'll be
do,
up there with
and then
you.
when they don't get taken, even if they take it gracefully, they make them do that walk of shame where they film them walking out and they're like, well, I I mean, I think they're wrong. I think I have a good idea, because no one takes it gracefully and goes like, yeah, this is probably a pretty stupid idea that I invested my whole life into.
Yeah. How would I have done on there with Spanx?
Well, before them, you would have won.
Yeah, what was your business plan like? They ask you
do they
detailed
get into all that
questions.
stuff too? It's not.
Oh yes.
You
It's
take
not
girls.
just.
It's not just the idea. It's not just the
like
idea.
okay, so how do you scale it up? And
Exactly.
Yeah, they already have existing businesses and business plans, and
Yeah.
then what they want is money to make it a big giant.
I'd have had some crap. Tell you guys about Zero Res. They're going to have another deal for you coming up when July gets here, but for the next 10 days or so. 3 rooms of carpeting, $129, $75 off your air duct cleaning. I got mine done about 3 weeks ago. Like I said, I have animals, and they don't always make it to the bathroom, which makes carpeting really, really bad. But when it gets hot, if you've had a dog or a cat or something pee on your carpet because it just it's so terrible. So they cleaned it all up. They got it all out. They put down some stuff that kills the odors and dissuades, animals from doing that again. So if you have that same kind of problem that I've had, avail yourself of that. They can do any kind of flooring surface. They have a great hardwood treatment, which isn't going to cost you a ton of money, but it's going to make them glisten and look beautiful. We will do your favorite Archie Bunker chair or couch. We have all kinds of stuff that we will do. If you are a corporate client and you have like 10 exam rooms for a dentist office or something, we'll make you a great DGS deal. 314-474-2020, ZeroResSTL.com.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
Welcome back to RX Watch. This alert is disturbing.
Right. A while back, we learned that companies like Johnson & Johnson use a mineral called talc in baby powder and other products.
And studies show that talc, when used for feminine hygiene, can cause ovarian cancer.
Now listen to this. RX Watch has learned that the talc they use is being mined in China.
Right, and talc mined in China contains heavy metal contaminants like chromium and magnesium, which are known to cause cancer. But China doesn't care.
So China gets the jobs and we get contaminated talc in our baby powder.
And ovarian cancer.
Right. With their specialized tests, the medical team at Onder Law can help you know if your ovarian cancer was caused by talc.
Onder Law has helped women for years with free and confidential consultation. You need to call Onder Law's pharma attorneys at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.